is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewing statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Howdy, good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard to the show. Time to rock and roll on a day that is... It's going to tear us. It's going to tear us in many different directions because we're going to be talking about a lot of really twisted things, unfortunately, that's been going on with the Miami Dolphins, coming off a terrific night by the Miami Heat, which is what really should be getting all the attention, is the 125-110 win over the Mavericks, because the Miami Heat are the franchise, along with the Panthers, in town right now that deserve the proper respect, the proper attention from you out there, the fans. But I know football is the sport that drives this town still. The Dolphins have done a really good job of trying to eliminate that kind of feeling because they've created the kind of crap show for 25 years now that should be able to, just scare away most fan bases. And somehow or another, we're still around, and I think we're always going to be around. But it is just to see the news story that's coming out, and we're going to see if the press conference is going to be aired here at 10 a.m. The Dolphins are going to address the media. If it's on YouTube or another type of link, we will air that press conference for you. I am told Chris Grier is going to address the media today. So a lot of people have been wanting to hear from Chris Grier. And after what happened yesterday with the trading deadline, everybody wants to know what is going on. And I think a lot of people now are coming to my side on the Tua thing is done. I've been saying it for a while now that Tua's done. He's going to move on, and that's what it looks like now. The story that came out by Mark Berman is probably as disturbing as it gets on almost every level out there. By the way, Alan Poupart will be there at the press conference. So will Clay Ferraro. See, today we were supposed to do the Pallet Rack City Inside the Paint show. We're going to push it to tomorrow because Clay has to be down there for the press conference. So Ira and Clay will join you tomorrow, and that'll be good because they'll recap the Dallas game and then they'll preview the Boston game later on that evening. So that it'll still work out. It'll be, I mean, listen, it always works out. It's always a great show. It's always going to be fantastic. But for those of you that were wondering where was Pallet Rack City Inside the Paint show today, we pushed it back one more day. So you'll get it tomorrow. But the story from Mark Berman, who reports that, and if you can see this here on the graph that I'm putting up, it says Miami or Houston or wherever he goes, it doesn't change our case. Bottom line was, apparently at some point the Dolphins wanted 22 settlements. And this is from Tony Busby, the lawyer for Deshaun Watson. I made it clear after talking to my clients that wasn't going to happen and that they lowered that number. I made that clear that wasn't going to happen. Watson's team was trying to sell the Dolphins on some lowered number, and I think that never came to pass. What about the non-disclosure agreements your clients were asked to sign? I don't know if it came from Watson or it came from the Dolphins. I don't know where it came from, but there was an insistence of a very, very robust non-disclosure agreement, and we pushed back on that very hard. For some of the women, that was a deal breaker. On other women, it was a compensation. And so says everyone was different, but there was some instance on a non-disclosure agreement. I don't care if he gets traded or not. It's really not my thing. Obviously, there was a lot of effort on their part to get the case settled so there could be a trade, apparently. I'm assuming at some point that will come about again. Time is on my side. I'm just going to continue to pursue the case, continue to do my due diligence on the case, and start preparing the case for hopefully a trial. The next significant event, I believe, will be February, when we have the opportunity to talk or to take Mr. Watson's deposition. And I've been telling you that they still have to depose him. I've been telling you that they've got 10 criminal complaints. I've been telling you there's 22 civil lawsuits. I've been telling you when dumbass Drew Rosenhaus, before the season started, goes, oh, no, they could solve this in the next 2 weeks and make the trade. No, they can't, Drew. And you're a lawyer. I'm not. I'm just a talk show host. That's it. I don't have any credentials when it comes to law. I didn't even sleep at a freaking Holiday Inn last night. But apparently Drew Rosenhaus has, he has a degree. And I think the guy from Pro Football Talk also has a degree. Yet both these guys one was thinking that you could solve the issues by the beginning of the regular season. And I told you they wouldn't solve it by a trading deadline. Because it's courts. You can't speed that up. And let me tell you something. The disturbing part about all of this, okay? If the Dolphins really got involved in the middle of this and tried to force, agreements. So you're basically, if this is true, and I would hope that somebody in the media is going to ask them, did you guys try to, because apparently even the owner was trying to meet with Watson. If they really tried to do this is disgusting on every level that there is, because you're basically dismissing all the women, saying they're all gold diggers. Here, take your money, sweetheart. Get the hell out of here. Oh, and sign this, so you have to shut the hell up. Now, I don't know if it came from Watson, if it came from the Dolphins, or it was the Dolphins and Watson's attorney working together to try to get it, I don't know. But here's the problem with all of this, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the problem I run into now. Stephen Ross has no credibility. That's my problem with all of this. So I could actually believe that he was involved in all of this because he did the Jim Harbaugh thing. He had a coach in place, and he went knocking on Jim Harbaugh's door 3,000 miles away trying to get, and, the moron got exposed for it. And now he's getting exposed for all of this. Chris Grier is a very quiet and reserved guy. All of this stuff has exploded and gotten out. It makes me feel like this really didn't come from them. It came from the owner. Because most of the stuff they've done under the last 2 years, it's all under the radar. Nobody knows. This has been out on the open constantly. And something tells me that, the Dolphins organization could say, well, no, Stephen Ross doesn't make any decisions. Well, you did the Harbaugh stuff, right? So, and now this whole Tony Busby thing says, the Dolphins wanted, that's not the general manager or the head coach wanting to meet with that's the owner. The owner's the only one that can approve a crazy deal like this. I'm pretty sure that the general manager did not want to acquire Watson with all those cases, or did not want to try to resolve all those cases. What I'm trying to tell you is, I think this is the owner polluting everything again and doing something stupid again. Now, I know that all the employees can't say, oh, well, yeah, the owner's been driving this because they'll all get fired. So then they'll tell everybody, no, Stephen Ross, no, everybody else make a decision. And Chris Grier and Brian Flores aren't going to go, no, it's the owner pushing me. They're all going to say, well, yeah, no, this is part of our decision. It was a collective thing. They'll throw the collective BS at you again. I mean, the biggest problem on this team continues to be Stephen Ross, unfortunately. He has a good heart. He means well. There's no doubt in my mind he means well, but he just doesn't know how to go about anything. This smells of Stephen Ross. This smells of celebrating the Gators and Tim Tebow. This smells of orange carpet. This smells of Jim Harbaugh. This smells of stuff that has gone on under Stephen Ross for many, many years now. That's what this smells like. Okay? When it's so dirty and so irresponsible and so goofy, it go instead of all rivers flowing to Brian, all rivers are now flowing to Stephen Ross. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Because it's the common denominator in all of this. And it's the only person that can push that kind of an envelope. Do you think the general manager, the head coach, can, try to, we're going to come up with these non-disclosure agreements? No, that's the owner and his lawyers. Come on, dude. Let's go. Let's be smart here. This is, if they really got involved in this, I'm telling you, this is the most disturbing thing that Stephen Ross has ever done. If the Dolphins got involved and tried to push this thing across the finish line and try to force these women to get into an agreement so he can get traded, I got to tell you this. I hope the commissioner forces him out of the Miami Dolphins. If this is true, I'm not exactly sure because it comes from Tony Busby. He's the lawyer, so I don't know. And he also says, in a way, well, Watson or Dolphins or whatever, but they wanted to the 22 agreements. We told them that wasn't going to happen. They lowered their number. I mean, like, so what? They didn't agree on the higher number, or they were going to agree on the lower number? Is that what that's? This smells of Ross now. And great job by Dave Hyde. Absolutely, calling it like it is and trashing what deserves to get trashed right now, which is Stephen Ross. Think about that, man. If my man really actually got in the middle of all of this and said, come on, man, here's the money, here's for all 22, get out of here. We need to make this trade. Like, no, hey, football is more important than the fact that maybe there was a crime involved. Football is more important than maybe sexual assault was committed. We're assuming, Watson's innocent. These people, these women, they're all guilty. That's screwed up, man. That's screwed up. Seriously. That's the kind of stuff that you should get pushed out of the league for if you tried to do that. I'm just saying. If I know Ross has got it already, passed on to his partner, if it's proven that he tried to meddle in a criminal investigation / civil lawsuits so he could get his little football team on track, then you got a decision that you got to make. I'm just saying. And maybe they'll come out guns a-blazing and deny everything, but we don't even know what to believe anymore. I mean, everything is so dysfunctional. Everything has been so dysfunctional for so many years now, and so many years under Ross, that they have no credibility. And that's the problem here. That credibility is the issue here. At least when the Miami Heat tell you something, there's a track record, There's something you can believe in. There's a structure that's been in place, discipline, defense, all these things. You either are a Heat player or you're not. What's a Dolphin player? What is a Dolphin player? I sure as hell know what a Heat player is. I know what it requires to be a Heat player, because the second they freaking acquired P.J. Tucker, what did you say? Because I don't have to tell you, right? It's not like I'm enlightening you. Second you saw P.J. Tucker, what'd you say? Oh, man, that's a Heat player. First time you saw Kyle Lowry, right? Oh, no, that guy's going to fit perfectly with our team. Dwayne Dedman. Oh, no, dude, that guy's a Heat player, of course, because there's a definition. Because it starts from the freaking top. Because the guy at the top has that definition. Look at the definition of Pat Riley and the definition of Stephen Ross, or even Mickey Harrison. That's the difference between organizations that do things the right way and do things the wrong way. And it starts with that dude at the top that is cheating on his coach by finding another coach, that is cheating on his quarterback by finding another quarterback in the middle of the season every time. I have no idea. Chris Grier, by the way, is on the podium right now, addressing the media. I'm looking at it right now. I guess there is no video, Sean, no local video. So we'll get the excerpts from it. I'm telling you, this is disturbing as it gets. We'll give you some excerpts from it. We'll follow up with everything. Chris Grier on the rumored Deshaun Watson trade. It's my job as GM to investigate every avenue. At the end of the day, no trade was made. As an organization, we decided not to make a deal. If you're in charge and you're the GM, you're really in charge. Yeah, I talked it over with everybody else, and I decided it's not the right way for us to go. That's what the GM says. When you say we decided not to make it as an organization, I don't know if you're really making that decision or not. I got to admit. Let's see. What else do we have here? We will keep up with everything that's going on in the press conference and fill you in. If it's on YouTube or MiamiDolphins.com, Sean will bring it up, and we will pass it on to you guys. Grier says investigating player at QB is treating position same as any position on the roster. If someone's good, you investigate. I think, let me see. Investigating the possibility of adding someone like Watson was not a reflection on what the organization thinks about Tua. We're very happy with Tua. We think he's developing well. Well, you can't say that. That's company talk there. You're trying to save face. Grier on Busby's suggestion that the team wanted the accusers to sign an NDA. Absolutely ridiculous and categorically false. That pisses me off. So apparently the Dolphins weren't involved in it. Might have been only the lawyers for them. Yep, it says absolutely ridiculously and categorically false. It's flat wrong, and it pisses me off. So that is the kind of denial you see. That's what I wanted on the Deshaun Watson one that he answered. When he said we made the decision as an organization, you're the GM. And that's where I'm telling you, the owner is involved in all of this. Let's see. What else do we have here? Grier said 90% of the stories that came out during this saga were false. Adds that he feels good about the team's communication with the organization. Most upset, Cameron Wolf says, most upset I've ever seen Chris Grier when asked if they were involved in trying to get women to sign NDAs. Yep. So all right, that's but I wanted the other answer to be not the organization, me. By the way, Sean, go to Omar's Twitter, and he put up a short video of Grier, and you can check that out because he's got it there, and that's where Grier is talking about believing in Tua and the Deshaun Watson mess. We can air that for you there because Omar did put it up now. And Dave Hyde says Chris Grier loudly and angrily denied the team in any way asked for NDAs from the 22 women alleging sexual assault of Watson. This is probably why Grier's talking the most, because they were probably pissed off about the comments from the lawyer. And Grier says, I can't come out here every week and keep denoting and denying. People won't believe you anyway, Dolphin GM Chris Grier said, which is actually true. That is very true. All right, you have it there for me? All right, let's hear Chris Grier address the meteors here on the Watson and Tua situation. Go ahead, Mr. Stanley.
It's my job as general manager to always investigate every avenue and players that potentially may or may not be available. So, first of all, it's no different. We've done that from day one. So that's there's no mandate from anyone going. It's just how we operate, and I think that's how every team in the NFL operates. In terms of what discussions had and what people asked for permission, all that stuff. At the end of the day. No trade was made as an organization. We decided not to make a deal, and basically at the end of the day, you go through these processes, you talk through things. No decision was made, and we move forward with the team we have.
What does that interest say about how you feel about Tua Tagovailoa?
I don't think it's any different than any player on the roster, honestly, because if there's a player available around the league that's viewed as being one of the top players in the league, at any position, I think you look at it and go for it, try and go for it. Investigating a player at any position, whether it's wide receiver, D-line, O-line, linebacker, it's a good player. We're going to investigate it and look at it and do it. We're very happy with Tua. I think he's developing well. Brian's been very consistent in his message, and we have been as well, and working hard. He's shown a lot of improvement, and we think he'll continue to develop and be the player that he can be.
Why do you think it was plausible path to pursue a guy who has 22 pending civil lawsuits and an ongoing criminal investigation?
Again, we're doing background work and investigating everything. So just because we do that doesn't mean we're going to do a deal. So again, we're investigating good players. And again, every situation is unique. This was a unique situation. We did our due diligence and decided not to pursue a trade.
There you go. And this is a Ross mess. It's just what it seems like. And let me tell you, I'm going to go as far as this. If there are no changes at the end of the season, then it makes me feel like Ross was at the beginning of the Tua thing and then changed his mind and wanted Watson. And they can tell me whatever they want about him not meddling, but it just sounds like meddling. The good thing, the best part about this so far, at least, has been that they did not try to force the women to sign NDAs. Because if that was the case, dude, that would have been. I'm telling you, you got to boot Ross out of the league. Seriously, you have to boot Ross out. You can't boot him for being incompetent. And that's obviously what he's been. But if he was trying to force, oh man. Yeah, you got to kick his ass out. So the good thing is that part is not true. Because again, look how emotional apparently, and he doesn't get emotional. And by the way, it pisses him off, he said. when you're not deciding to trade for a player and you're the general manager, say, well, yeah, we investigated. I spoke with the people and I decided not to go in that direction. That's how we're going to go about it. But there has to be a little I in there when you're the general manager, because you have to send the message that, hey, I put the kibosh on this. But there was nowhere there in that statement that says I put the kibosh on it. Which leads me to believe that the owner is the one that's been behind all of this stuff almost. This is just, it's so dysfunctional. I mean, to think that that's what they wanted to get away from was the dysfunction, and that's not what they've gotten away from. They are just as dysfunctional as they've been a long time. Grier said the Dolphins never addressed the Deshaun Watson rumors with women in the building because we never got to a point where anything was realistic. Said they would have had that conversation if the move was realistically going to happen. He says it is important that you have communication and talks through things and make sure that you have alignment on things, Chris Grier said on communication with Brian Flores during the Watson talk. See, this whole alignment thing and all that, I'm not a fan of that, man. I'm not that much of a fan of it. I'd rather this is you gave the GM the job, but I'm not sure if you gave the GM the power that he needs in order to do the job. And unfortunately, the one thing I will say about Chris Grier that I think he made a mistake with was Brian Flores. Because the more I see Brian Flores, the more I think it's a mistake, because if you can't put a staff together, you can't coach. And as you all know, I am stuck to my guns on it. I don't think all these players are this bad. I don't think this team is this bad. I think this coaching staff is the worst I've ever seen. Okay? The lack of organization that I see amongst that team, and the lack of preparation, and the fact that they look like they're lost and they have no guidance, that to me is the biggest problem right now on the team. Is if you had a better coaching staff, you'd have a better season going on. Chris Grier says reports that said Brian Flores wanted Justin Herbert, he picked Tua, is not accurate. Let's see. Somebody should ask about the report that Chris Grier wanted Justin Herbert, and he'll say it's not accurate also. Grier on assessing recent drafts, we've added some good young players. Let's see. Grier says he's happy with Jalen Waddle and thinks he'll be a good player, says he won't look back on the decision to go from 3 to 12 to 6. Manuel Malo, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. It all seems to emanate from Ross, doesn't exonerate Grier or Flores, but what a joke, rotten all around. Exactly. Because unfortunately, what's going on the field is going to fall on Grier and Flores. You are correct, Manuel. But it looks like Ross is still meddling when it's all said and done. So we're keeping you updated on a lot of the stuff going on with the Miami Dolphins. And apparently it has ended with Chris Grier. All right. So there you go. So CBS got shot down on their Flores-liked Justin Herbert report. So whoever from CBS reported that, they just got slammed. But, in today's world, it doesn't really matter. Larry's in Columbus. He says, our coach by Urban Meyer, that says it all. Please, we need Pallet Rack City show to start. This is way too upsetting. Well, see, Dola, you'll have to wait till tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Hey, there's somebody on the chat named Nick Alzigari. Are you really an Alzigari? Because if you're an Alzigari, we're actually related in some way. There's only a few of us. So, is Mariano your father? Nick Alzigari says the talent deployed by the Dolphins is not this bad. There's no way the team can look so good last year than look like this. I know. It's coaching is the worst thing I've ever seen. And I think a lot of people are catching up to that now. Brian Baldinger and stuff. I'm watching people now point out how poorly prepared this team is. In every phase, by the way, offense, defense, special teams, all of that. As I told you yesterday, Belichick thought Flores thought he was Belichick or Saban, and he's not those guys. And that he could, have a young staff, and he can bring the team and the young staff along like he's some effing guru or something. That's in the conversation with Omar, like Flores has been all over in every level of the team, and that doesn't mean jack to me. That means squat. It's, have you succeeded at the highest level while doing that? That's the question, and that's what he can't say. So that's my whole issue. The only thing he excelled at was as defensive coordinator. But you're running somebody else's defense in a way. You know what I mean? I hope now Tua can calm his nerves a bit, and hopefully the guys around him can help out. Nathan Schellenhammer. I always like the last name Schellenhammer. He's not supported, dude. Think about that. Now, I want you to think about what Tua's going through. Tua is going through a situation that he's sacrificing his body for no reason at all. Now, he needs to get the experience, right? But what kind of experience are you going to get behind a line that's chaotic, a coaching staff that doesn't know how to prepare you? So it's hard for you to actually even gain experience or even look good. And yet he's actually looked pretty good considering the garbage around him. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Tua, and you know what? I'll bring it back to myself. Because I always like looking at things and using something else as an example. If it's something in life that I've been involved in or somebody else, I always like using it. It's the last 11 months that I was at QAM. What's that, Sean? What are you trying to get in there? Okay. So the last 11 months that I was trying to get into, last 11 months that I was working at QAM, I knew I was getting fired every single day that I was walking in. Do you know how hard it is to do a job knowing that the person above wants to get rid of you? That's not a fun feeling, my man. For me, that was a really tough 11 months because I knew I had to wait till my option was up because they weren't going to pay me my whole salary for the year. So they only wanted to pay me severance because, they're a cheap-ass company and they keep cutting and they don't care about people or any human being or anything like that. They just care about I don't know what it is because they don't care about the bottom line because there's a lot of us that can help the bottom line. And so, when you're firing Jade Alexander, who is just a phenomenal human being, a terrific talent, bringing in a ton of cash, I have no hope when you're firing Jade Alexander. So, you know what I mean? So when you see that, it was like, okay, well, I know what you're doing now. You're trying to, clear out stuff. So it is what it is. So, it's not an easy thing for Tua to go to work every day, knowing that the people above you don't support you and are going to get rid of you the first chance they get. That's just, my friend, that's not a good environment for any human being. You don't want to go to a job that you're not wanted. some of you have had to have ended up in that position. I cannot be the only one right now. There's over 300 people right now in the live chat, and please smash the like button. It's very important. I'm sure some of you out there, there's 344, thousands and thousands that download every day. You had to have been in that situation. Maybe not for 11 months like me, but maybe for a month or 2 or 3 that you knew that you were going to let go because they didn't want you around anymore for whatever reason. Maybe it wasn't personal. It was a business thing, which is kind of what my deal was in a way to a certain extent. I'm sure there was a little personal because obviously I didn't take a lot of shit from that idiot. So, it is what it is. But I got to tell you, this is a terrible environment for Tua. Chris Adams, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. I was all in for Tua, but they want Watson, and so I'm all in for him. Now we are in the worst place possible. Business is bad, and we want blood. Toss Ross. George Ceballos, thank you, sir, giving us some love on the super chat. Remember, you can also do it through Cash App and Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show if you want on Cash App or Venmo. And on the Venmo one and Cash App, you can also leave a question. So if you got a question you want to ask. By the way, just to give you all out there a little tip, because I did it yesterday. So, Sean, yesterday I tweet back because if you go to Aaron Rodgers' Twitter page, he is giving away $1 million in Bitcoin. Okay? So he'll randomly give you some Bitcoin. You go to his Twitter page and go to the tweet that he has there that says, I believe in Bitcoin and the future is bright. That's why I'm teaming up with Cash App to take a portion of my salary in Bitcoin today. To make Bitcoin more accessible to my fans, I'm giving out a total of 1 million Bitcoin now too. Drop your cash tag. So what you do is you retweet it back to him. You put your Cash App tag. I put Cash Big O Show. And you put hashtag paid in Bitcoin. And then you go follow Cash App on Twitter. And then you wait. And if they pick you, you get a chance to win the money. How about that? So guess what? I did it. A couple of hours later, I look at my Cash App account, and I got $100 of Bitcoin, dude. That was awesome. So I ended up getting a free $100 in Bitcoin yesterday. It's freaking awesome. So go to Aaron Rodgers' Twitter page if you want to try it for he might send 10, he might send 20, you might get lucky and get 100 like I did. I think that's the max he gives out, which is 100. And you'll see this on your Cash App right there. You received $99.99 from Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers gave me $100 of Bitcoin, baby, yesterday. How about that? So if you don't have a Cash App account, go open one up quickly. It's really easy. Thank you all out there for starting me on Cash App because I didn't have a Cash App. I would have had to go open it, then go do the thing with Aaron Rodgers. And you know me, I'm all over crypto, dude. All right, so everything crypto, I'm on top of it, man. Any kind of deals, I pass it on to you guys. Whether it's the staking stuff, everything you can do at crypto.com, whether it's the OK coin, whether it's now getting some free Bitcoin from Aaron Rodgers. I tweeted it out yesterday, but I don't know how many of you follow my Twitter, man, at Big O Show, because that's where a lot of stuff gets posted early. If I like a certain crypto, if I like a pick, by the way, yesterday, my bets went well with the Heat. My parlay didn't go well. I did all that stuff on the new Hard Rock app. It was there on the Twitter page. So hit up Aaron Rodgers, man. Who knows? You might get some free Bitcoin. He's giving away $1 million. The beauty of it is that there's so many people out there that, they don't know they don't know anything about crypto. They're completely ignorant to it. They don't care. They think it's like, fake and a Ponzi scheme or whatever. So there aren't a lot of people that really understand it. So if you have an opportunity, here you go. You can get some free Bitcoin, man, and let it just sit there. Now, between us, let that be the only Bitcoin you have on Cash App, okay? Don't go buying any more coins on Cash App, okay? Go to crypto.com. Go to, if you like Coinbase, I'm more of a crypto.com guy, Binance. There's some legitimate cryptocurrency exchanges that I want you to go to instead, okay? Cash App you don't own that crypto. They don't give you the keys. That's a whole other conversation that we can have. But you're only going to be able to keep it there. You're not going to be able to move it to a cold wallet or anything like that. That's another conversation we can have, what a cold wallet is. I'm not going to get too deep into that stuff. But just saying, take your shots, man. You might get Aaron Rodgers to send you a little Bitcoin, man. I felt good yesterday, man. $100 free of Bitcoin. I'll take it, man. Let's go. That $100, okay? Bitcoin's at 60,000, right? When I'm going to show you that Cash App account in 2 months, 3 months, when Bitcoin is like at 120, and you'll see then it's $200. And then you'll kind of get the feeling right there. I'm just going to keep that money there and leave it there and let it grow. And I'll show it to you occasionally so you could just see what $100 can grow into. Just $100. Okay, just $100. One of our listeners. I'm not going to say who it is because I that's not my business. But he sent me his portfolio total and what he invested in on the coins that I've told him. He's more than doubled his money. So if there's a lot of you that have invested in the coins I told you, thank the Lord. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do with your money. You got to do it on your own. You got to do your own homework. But thank the Lord that the coins that I've invested in have actually been all good and taken off. And so those of you that have done the same thing, you have benefited big time because he's more than doubled his money. And, doubling your money is actually a pretty good thing. And he's not done yet because it's going to continue. Alex Diaz says, oh, good afternoon. I've been in that position before. I knew for a month I was gone, and this was around Christmas. And mind you, I was at the top sales rep for 2 months straight. You see what I mean? It's a terrible position to be in because you have to find the motivation to be a professional at the moment and do your job. And that's the one thing that for the 11 months while I was at QAM, I did my job. Although some of you did notice I was a little edgy. But then again, I think now you realized I knew I was getting fired. So maybe you knew why I was a little edgy. And if you were going to get fired, and I was dying. And that's the other thing. I knew I was going to get fired and I was dying for it to happen already. Do you know how twisted that is? I've already told you that the day I got fired, I was so happy. I had a smile on my face. Okay. When Len Weiner walked out the door and left me there with the HR guy, he goes, are you all right? And I said, yeah, man. He goes, I've never seen anybody so happy. And I go, well, because I'm free now. I can go do what I want to do. I was tied to this stupid company. I need to get the hell out. I need to run my own thing. I had this is what was in my mind rolling around the entire time. This is what I wanted to do because I knew this is the way the world is going. You know what I mean? I've always been pretty good at adjusting to everything that's gone on in life and whatever, but especially in my business, whether it's from emails to the internet to social media, all the different avenues that we sales, all that kind of stuff, everything that we needed to do to grow as a professional in this business, I've always adjusted to all of those things. You know what I mean? I was the only radio guy in the country that actually paid my way to go to the Senior Bowl and the Combine and the East-West Shrine and the Las Vegas Football Classic and the Orlando Gridiron and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because if the station wasn't going to help me to get better, it was up to me to go out and improve myself. And that's exactly what happened. You know, I can't allow some cheap-ass company that doesn't want to invest in their employees who are trying to better your product, and they don't understand that, you know, which is kind of freaking ignorant. But, you know, I wasn't going to allow them to, stop me from getting better. And so that's all part of the monster that you've got to deal with. And I don't know how Tua can really, feel good about the situation he's in, because I know I didn't. When you don't get supported, it's tough, man. It's near impossible. Luigi, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Obaid Amin, thank you, my friend. He says, love your show. Fins up for life. We will suffer with them every day until one day we will celebrate, my friend. Watching every day from DC. Why doesn't Miami trade for better linemen or draft them like Jake long ago? Best. But he was a number one pick. That's the thing. Obaid, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I really think I'm at a point where I don't believe all these linemen are bad. I don't believe all these players are bad. So I first need to get some really good coaches in here to then coach these players up so we can really assess who they are. Because I kind of feel we're watching, 53 Steve Youngs on Tampa. And for those of you that don't know, because you're too young, I don't know, there's probably lowlights. Steve Young in Tampa. Okay, Steve Young as a Buccaneer. Put it out there. I don't know. There's probably videos. I'm pretty sure there's like all kinds of, videos where it shows him getting killed in Tampa. And then he goes to San Francisco and has a great career because he had a great foundation and had a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame staff, probably, because the guys that Steve Walsh had as assistant coaches, half of them turned out to be head coaches. Steve Weish was there and Dennis Green and Mike Holmgren, all these, give me a break, dude. We're talking about Bill Walsh. I'm sorry. Did I say Steve? Bill Walsh, one of the greatest, minds ever in the history of the game. And obviously Bill was under Paul Brown in Cincinnati. So that's kind of where it comes from. Danaris Coleman says clean house and start over. I don't know. I'm with this owner. I don't know anymore now. That's my problem. With this owner, I just don't know anymore. I really don't. Let's see. The Tua situation would immediately get better once a new GM coach is in place and they commit to him, Tua, and build around him and start the trenches. Well, I mean, as long as the new people believe in him, you know what I mean? QB just tried to survive being picked by Tampa in the 80s and early 90s and could go to another team. Exactly. DJ says, Big O, crypto question. What's your take on Douglas Mars? Heard some positive things, but I know you know your stuff. I'll be checking your YouTube. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I think I saw that I think you put that on Twitter DM, if I'm correct. I don't know anything about Dogeland Mars at all, my friend. That sounds like a meme coin, and I don't know anything about it. So I cannot tell you whether, I mean, with meme coins, it's very meme. Listen, this is how I describe meme coins. They're not investments, they're gambles. And as long as you look at it that way, then, you take your chances if you want. But I know nothing about it, my friend. So I cannot tell you anything good or bad about it. So you're on your own. You're going to have to do your own homework and find out what you always do with any coin, my friend. Okay? First of all, what is the market cap? How many coins are available? Because if it's a number that never ends, it's an endless number where they just print and print and print, like Joe Biden and the US dollar. Well, Trump and Biden, because those two guys both printed so much money in the last couple of years. It's just crazy. But the bottom line is you need to know how many coins, you need to know the market cap, you need to know who are the investors involved. Is there serious money involved? And then the most important thing, is there any real life issues that they're solving? Or is it just a meme coin? So if there's no technology behind it, then it's like Doge. It's a complete hot air balloon. So if it can only be used as currency, that's just not enough. There's lots of coins for that and better coins. So Litecoin will end up being more of that than anything else down the line. You know what I mean? So there are things like, for me, Crow, which is now exploding, thank the Lord. Crow's been moving for the last couple of months. People don't realize it because they look at the micro, not the macro. But if you put out the 3 months, you'll see it's been going up. It's already up over 25 cents, which is its all-time high. I think was 24, so it's already passed its all-time high, and it's going higher. I will be using that as currency down the line as it grows. Then I can start using some of that as currency with my credit card. So I can move it over into my credit card and ring stuff up. So that's what I plan to do with my Crow. But there's a lot of coins that way. So it has to be, that's why Doge, Shiba's going to overtake Doge, because Shiba will be used just like Doge as currency. And by the way, Tesla is going to add Shiba as currency, and Shiba's being added everywhere as currency, but Shiba also has Shiba Swap. They also have NFTs. And by the way, the NFTs, what are they called? Oh God, I forgot the name they have for their NFTs. I'm not into NFTs. I don't know enough about it. And but they're flying off the shelf, as they say. Okay. So the NFTs are being sold left and right. They don't have that. The community. Did you see the Shiba community? The fans of Shiba bought advertising on Time freaking Square. The community for Shiba is stronger than Doge. That's another thing you want to know. The community for Cardano is really strong. You want to go look at their social media. How much following do they have? How active are they? If it's meme coins, how much advertising and promotion are they doing? Look at SHIB. It's everywhere, dude. And it hasn't even been added on Robinhood yet. So be careful with meme coins, because most of them, it's just a gamble. And when it pumps, you've got to be ready to dump. Okay? You cannot hang on to these kind of things on a long-term basis. I can sit and hang on to Cardano, which, by the way, did everybody see Cardano start taking off last night? And I'm sorry, Sean, who told them to be nice and patient with Cardano? I told you that it consolidated in the 90 cent and $1 mark. I told you it consolidated in the 120s. I told you it consolidated again in the 140s. I told you it consolidated again in the 190s to $2. And last night it got up to like 219, I believe. It's retraced a little bit now. It's gone back down a little bit, but it's still way up from where it was. And now it looks like it's headed up. I'm getting a refresher here. It's up almost 4%. It's up to 207 now. So it's starting to go back up again. Where was it? At 10:30 at night. Last night it was at 195. okay? And then all of a sudden it shot up, and it shot up all the way to 214. It's now retraced to 27. What have I told you? Parabolic, then there's a correction, and then there's a consolidation, right? I'm not sure this move up is still done yet, but there it goes. You must be patient with crypto. But like I was telling you, I can be patient with Cardano because I know Cardano is going to end up at $30 eventually. You know what I'm saying? I know it's going to end up around $7 by the end of the year. So I'm going to hang on to Cardano for a long time. I'm going to hang on to Ethereum, which I believe will be in the 8,000 to 10,000 range by the end of the year. But I believe Ethereum on a long-term basis, that I believe Ethereum will be like $30,000 when it's all said and done. So you sell along the way some profits, but you keep long-term because it's going to continue. Meme coins, you cannot think that way. You can never think that way with meme coins. With meme coins, you have to have them liquid. And what I mean by that is don't stake your coins and then not have access to them, because those are coins that if they parabolic for one move, that it's quick, you need to then dump them then. If they're being staked, you have no access to them. So the number may go back down by the time your stuff is unstaked. So be very careful. Meme coins it's like a wild, wild west shootout. It's who draws first and who fires. So be very careful. I can't tell you anything about that coin, but at least I can tell you what to look for. Press conference starting soon. Oh, so we get to watch it, the whole thing. I got you. Or is that Flow? Is that Cam Flow? Okay, it's Cam Flow. Okay. So we got Cam Flow coming. We're awaiting Cam. Why don't you pull it up and put me on the side of it? Everybody can hear me. They don't need it. My face is ugly enough as it is. They don't need to see my big ass. There we go. So that way, the second he comes to, we'll go right to the coach and we'll have it. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you immensely. Devin Jordan says, and thank you, Devin, for the love on the super chat. We've tried it the free agent way, and that failed. We tried it by having a ton of draft picks, and that failed. I don't know if I can stomach another rebuild. Can you blame Devin Jordan at all? Can't blame fans for feeling like that or anything else that you have right now with the team. It's tough. It's really tough, man. It's unfair. All right, why don't we do this? Sean, let's get in a really quick break so we can start off hour number 2 here on the program. And if the press conference comes in, we'll cut the break off and we'll come back. But I've been talking for one straight hour. Let me get a little break. Let me get a little honey and lemon and a little water and get ready for hour number 2. Give me a couple minutes. Back with more.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Spally Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one sort of
case be made to just dramatically change parts of the roster, bring in guys on minimum, take fresh look at guys, replace guys who are not performing well if things don't turn around these next 2 games over 10 days?
Well, the focus is on today's practice, but I will answer your question. I think, there's always conversations about the roster, where we're at, who's playing well, always evaluations. If we feel like, or I should say this, we're always going to try to do what's in the best interest of the team. That's, I don't want to say ever changing, but that's a moving target, I would say. But always going to do what's in the best interest of the team. I think those conversations I had between myself, Chris, our coaching staff, our scouting staff, we look at the waiver wire really every night and see if there's anyone that's, a potential claim or potential practice squad poach. I mean, we've had a couple of those in the last couple of weeks. There's always conversations there from a roster standpoint. I don't think that'll change. And if we feel like it's in the best interest of the team to make a move, then we'll make a move.
And have you ever been tempted? I know one thing your predecessor did, not saying it's right or wrong. Adam Gase essentially fired 3 players after a loss. Have you been tempted at all during this process to just make a statement by releasing any guys who are not performing, or is that something you just don't believe in?
I think that's, I would say it's case by case, but, I try to think through every decision. If that's what was best for the team, then I think that's something that, we would consider, but that wouldn't be a decision made just by me. Obviously, those conversations would be had by myself, Chris, our coaching staff. There's a lot that goes into that. How does that affect the team? How does that affect, the coaching staff? How does it affect the locker room? There'd be a lot that goes into that. So, again, a hypothetical that, I guess it could come up. And if we felt like it was in the best interest of the team, I suppose a situation like that could occur.
Brian, on Sunday, the broadcast team said that in meetings with you during the week, they asked you if you'd be relieved once the trade line comes and goes, and you said yes. Are you, now that it has passed, relieved that all of this is kind of over, especially the whole Tua stuff that has been going on for months?
I don't know if that's the right choice of words or the context that was. But, I think I try to take things one day at a time. My focus right now is on today's practice, as Barry mentioned. Today's practice, trying to prepare our team for what's going to be a tough game against Houston this weekend. And that's really it. I try to compartmentalize really on a daily basis and focus on what's in front of me. And I'm focused on this team, the players on this team, the support staff in this building, and trying to help guys improve, get better, and have success on the field.
I guess but the cloud that has been hanging over, you will admit there's been kind of this cloud of lingering doubt about Tua and the questions. Do you think that there's a relief there from a team perspective that is now, at least for now, gone?
I think our group is, I think part of playing in this league, coaching in this league is blocking out and ignoring noise, distractions, things of that nature. If you can't do that, then your energy is on something that it shouldn't be. If you can do that, then your energy is on something that it should be on. So the message is always to let's put our energy in the right places. So that's our meetings, our walkthrough, our practice. Look, I understand that there's always things going on in these guys' lives, but we try to limit those as much as we can and talk about limiting those when they arise. We just try to talk about it a little bit more, and hope that they take that message and put their energy where it needs to be.
Ryan, you've steadfastly said you are a day-to-day, what's in front of me today guy.
Yes.
When a team's 1-7, and when your team inevitably hears a 1-7 team can't do this, a 1-7 team can't do that, how much more difficult does that make the challenge of keeping them to just worry about today's practice and getting better today and tomorrow and Friday and showing up on Sunday and all those things? Does it get tougher, I guess, as the losses pile up?
I don't think so. I think it's about. I think I've been consistent. I think I try to be consistent. I shouldn't say I've been consistent. I try to be consistent with these guys on a daily basis about the way we got to prepare, the way we have to practice, the way we have to do things. And if you continue to do those things, and if we limit the mistakes, and I think things will turn. I believe that, and I think that's I'm unwavering about that, in that belief. So that's not going to change. Doesn't matter what the record is. Those are things that are just kind of embedded in my fabric. I think they know that. They know they're going to hear the kind of those same talking points on a weekly basis. But they also know that it's not just coach speak either. They know that I believe it. And so in turn, hopefully they believe it and go out here and, prepare the right way and practice the right way and put themselves in, position to have success this week.
Even good teams make mistakes, make penalties, have turnovers, but oftentimes they have the talent to overcome them. Do you feel like this team has enough talent to overcome mistakes, considering what the record is right now and the product that's been put on the field?
I do. I think games in this league come down to a handful of plays. And like I've said, too many times this year, we've been on the wrong side of those mistakes, whether it's, a punt hitting somebody or, a penalty here or a drop ball here. We've been on the wrong side of them. And we've got to do a better job, as a coaching staff. That starts with me, putting them in better positions to make some of those plays. But I do. And I think we got, I like our players. I like our team, and I love coaching this team. So I'll continue to coach them. I'll continue to, try to help them improve and get better, and just keep taking it one day at a time.
If I may follow up, why do you like this team? No, I'm being dead serious because the results are not matching what the expectations were. I mean, you talked to Peter King and you said that, and I didn't necessarily agree with you, but you said that this was the year that you guys were going to pivot and kind of move away from the rebuilding. And here we are, 1-7, which is like where you were at the beginning of 2000.
I like this. I like the people in this building. I love the people in this building. I think we have the right types of players. I think we have a talented group. I think we have a young group. I think we have a developing group. I think we have guys who give great effort, prepare the right way, And I enjoy coaching this group. And I think there's a lot of the right ingredients here, and we got to find the right formula to help us get over the hump. And that's, you may not, a lot of people may disagree, but that's my belief. I believe in this team. I believe in the people in this building, and I'm really unwavering on that.
You were the defensive play caller on the Super Bowl team. The day after you won that Super Bowl, Steve Ross was hiring you, and he said, that performance makes me feel good about what you just did. My question is, in a year where your defense collapses against Jacksonville for the game-winning drive, against Atlanta for the game-winning drive, struggles in the second half against Buffalo, why haven't you taken over the defensive play call?
I mean, there's a lot that goes kind of into that question. Obviously I'm involved defensively. But as far as the play calling, I have a lot of trust in Josh Boyer and our defensive staff. I think he's done a good job. We just have to continue to get better. We have to put the players in better position to make plays. And I think we're moving in that direction. I thought we did a lot of good things against Buffalo. And we've got to execute better. So as far as, calling the defense, obviously I have some input on that. But I think Josh, has done a good job calling defenses in this league. And I have a lot of trust in my staff, and I'll continue to do that.
Brian, some have wondered, and have wondered if Tua has wondered if the organization's decision to explore acquiring another quarterback is an indicator that the organization has already concluded that he is not the answer as the long-term franchise quarterback. So what would you or have you said to Tua and to us about that?
Well, to you guys, I've said that he's definitely, and to him, he's gotten better. He's gotten a lot better. He's had some good performances this season. And he just needs to take it one day at a time and continue to improve and get better. And that's where his focus should be. Not on anything outside of that. It should be on his meeting, his practice, his craft, his techniques, his fundamentals, and not really worry about, what anyone else is saying or writing, and just worry about, the way he goes about his day on a daily basis.
In the last, just one follow-up, sorry. In the last 9 games, is it important to you to see Tua show that he can complete more down the field balls, deeper passes, no touchdowns in his career, 30 yards or more? I know it's only been less than 16 games, but what about that?
I mean, that's one area of the game that he's that's a goal of his to improve on. But there's areas in his game, and really, all of our games that we're looking to improve on. What I don't want him to do is, or any player to do, is try to force things because the expectation from somebody else is to do this, that, or the other thing. I think he needs to play within the system. I think he needs to take what the defense gives him. I think he needs to, take those shots down the field when they're appropriate, which I think he's done that. There's a to me, playing any position, you don't want to go, try to do too much. You want to, I don't want to say let the game come to you, but when you try to force action, oftentimes those are when mistakes happen. And I think he has had some downfield throws. I don't know if they're touchdowns, but he has had some downfield throws. And he, we got to put him in position to create more downfield throws. We got to do it in practice, and then once we get that done in practice, we'll feel better about executing it in the game.
Certainly throwing downfield would be easier Fuller was available. Is there any fear that you might not play at all the rest of the season, or are you be confident he'll be back?
Confident he'll be back, but kind of week to week. But with 9 weeks left, confident he'll be back. Yes.
Had enough time to evaluate what Tua is and what he'll be.
Look, everyone develops at a different pace. I think I see him getting better really on a weekly basis. I think there's still some things that he needs to improve on, like all of us. And we have more time, so he does everything he needs to do to get better, improve, and I think he'll continue to improve.
Do this, I guess, last week. But do you feel like maybe the circumstances he's dealt with, from the injuries to Fitz last year to now this, have been a fair or positive way to start his NFL development career?
I think everyone's journey is a little bit different. This is his, and I think he's done a good job. I mean, I know a lot of people may not feel that way, but I think he's done a lot of good things as a young quarterback in this league. I think he's made a lot of improvement as far as his understanding of what the defense is trying to do to him, our offensive concepts, his command of the huddle. There's some things he certainly needs to improve on. I think we all need to have things we need to improve on. And I'm anxious to see him continue to improve.
Low selling Tua for the offseason. There you go. Build it up, baby.
Of trading for Deshaun Watson and the Tua situation, the media attention has
rebuild that crypto
on me, personally, on you, on your NFL career.
I guess I don't think about things as hard or challenging. I mean, adversity is adversity is adversity. And I think, and I've said this before, it either breaks you or makes you stronger. And I've always taken the approach that adversity, and it has made me stronger. And I think this is what we're going through as a team. Hopefully it makes our team stronger. And that's kind of the approach I've always taken. It's not going to change. And that's the message I send to the team and to everyone in this building. Yep. Yep.
How much influence do you have with Chris on roster moves?
I mean, I've said this before. Chris and I talk, pretty much every day. My focus is on the team, in season. I think, I would say kind of the personnel part is probably 1% of my job right now. But it's, to me, it's the team, and offense, defense, special teams,
Coaching Senior Bowl to the draft process.
That's a different time of the year. Like in season, I'm focused on our team, and really, that's it. But obviously there's daily conversations. But even in those, I'm thinking about third down or red zone or run defense or something like that. All right, thank you guys.
There you go. That's the head coach. Brian Flores. Lordy. Oh, by the way, before I forget, DJ Spove. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, or Spove, DJ Spove. Thank you, sir, for the double super chat you put in right before the press conference started. That thing disappeared. I had to write it to make sure I could have taken a screenshot, actually, which is what I've been doing. Let me see. But yes, I could have done that. Oh, actually, they're still there. I can still see them. So thank you, sir, because he says, "You the man, Big O." Thank you, DJ. Very nice of you, sir. There you go. That is the head coach. Oh man, where do I start? There's a lot of things to talk about, and the praise job for Tua there towards the end. I can just see it now. Every week will be, Tua's doing great. He's doing great. He's fantastic. We've got to do better around Tua, this, that. Tua's fantastic. And then we trade Tua. I was just like, build. All you've done is tear the kid down with crappy coaching, with an offensive line that can't block. You know, it's just, and now it's like, oh no, he's been great. No, he's getting better and all. Which, by the way, he actually hasn't played bad. He's played pretty good considering the crap around him. He's actually done a pretty damn good job in a terrible environment. And of course, people that don't want you because they're constantly trading for somebody else. You know, the owner doesn't want you because they want somebody else. So, you know, I just found it funny that, you know, all this, there was more praise for Tua in that 60 seconds than he's done so far in the first 2 months. That's all I can tell you. Okay. You know, it's kind of, we're in what's that called? A damage control mode now. That's where we're at. We're in damage control mode. No, we love Tua. Oh, well, every journey's different and all that. You know what I love also that he said? That, you know, what's going on, the 1-7, all of this, the tough times, that it'll make us stronger down the line. And I'm sitting there going, there's no guarantee, Flo, because I've seen this before. So has every other Dolphin fan all around the world. Dolphin fans right now that are looking at this from Argentina, from Canada, from Sweden, from you name it, from where we get downloads from everywhere. Okay? We got Dolphins in New Zealand watching this show. Not just Mexico and Canada and the Bahamas, which is also very common. Everyone has had to go through all the losing. See, that here's the thing that Flo doesn't understand. Because Wanstead then hands us a whole bunch of, you know, depression towards the end and also during the playoffs, even when they were good. But then he leaves and he's no longer here to screw it up. But we're here. And then in comes who? Joe Philbin or Cam Cameron or Adam Gase or Tony Sperano or whatever. And all these coaches get to leave after they're done doing a terrible job. And then we're the ones left with all the suffering. So it's really nice for him to say, well, you know, it's going to make us tougher and all that. And brother, if it was for that, we would be the toughest team in the NFL, us and the Detroit Lions, because we've been losing so damn much that, yeah, we should be freaking Teflon at this point. If losing's going to make you so tough. You know what I'm saying? But we're the ones that are like, we got to endure all this crap, dude. And then next year, when you aren't tough enough and they fire you because you scrambled to try to make up for it and get a better coaching staff and this and that, guess who's left to pick up the pieces? That's right. You. You're the one that has to buy the season tickets. You're the one that's going to buy the hat, the jersey, the shirts, all that kind of stuff, the NFL ticket, because, of course, if you're somewhere around the country, you need to buy your NFL ticket so you can see your Miami Dolphins. You're somewhere around the world, you got to go to a bar or you can buy the programming online, whatever, to see your Miami Dolphins. You got to invest your emotions like we did this year, that we were invested in our emotions, that we really wanted to succeed and we couldn't succeed. So, yeah, this is tough, man. But please don't give me this crap that the 1-7 will make us stronger. Because if you don't have a better coaching staff next year, that we're just going to go through the same crap all over again. It's not like this coaching staff is going to get any better. By the way, I don't have time to develop your coaching staff, Flo. Okay? I'm trying to watch a football team win a title. I don't need Spo to be developed. No, he was developed under Riley. Once he took over, he was ready to run his own ship, to have his own coaches. And by the way, Spo has turned over his coaches a couple of times. I'm sorry. Did the losing start? No. Last time I checked, they still win. I don't have time for you to develop your stinking coaches, Flo. I'm a fan. You're supposed to hire seasoned professionals that know what the hell they're doing. I don't have time for you to put on training wheels with your stinking staff. I get it that Tua's got to learn. I understand that Robert Hunt's got to get better. I know that Jalen Waddle needs his reps. I get all of that. That's part of the game that Javon Holland has got to get better and work hard and all that. I've got time for them. I don't have time for Josh Boyer. I don't have time for Jean-Pierre, I think it is, or whatever. I don't have time for your convoluted BS offensive coordinators. That's the part that's a bunch of crap. You go develop your stinking coaches in another goddamn league. You don't do that here. I don't have time for that. Vaughn954, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. Flo just reiterated what Tua said about not forcing things and taking what the play and the defense gives you, yet many people are ripping Tua for saying, well, the people that rip Tua are just, I completely disagree with those people. Tua's fine, dude. Tua's not the problem here, okay? The problem is everything else around him. I put Tua in with Sean Payton, and they're a playoff contender, even with Tua as a young guy. Why? Because Sean Payton will know how to protect him and how to help him succeed like he helped his other quarterback who was short and didn't have a big arm succeed. Chris Adams says the smart play for Tua is to fake an injury now. Why would he be invested in this team? Business. Better teams will come and pay little. Thank you for the super chat there, Chris. And thank you, Richard Storm, also for another super chat. I appreciate you. All right. Let's go to our man, Clay Ferraro. Normally, every week, he's doing the Pallet Rack City Inside the Paint show. But the slacker needed the day off today because he had to work, actually, because he had to go do another job. He works for Channel 10, too. You know what I'm saying? That's actually his real job. This is kind of his hobby with us. You know what I'm saying? But no, seriously. He was covering the press conference. So he was out there in Miami Gardens. I got to make sure I don't get confused with the whole Davy thing after all these years. Clay will be back tomorrow with Ira at 9 a.m. for the Pallet Rock City Inside the Paint show, talking basketball. But he's going to join us now and talk some football and talk about these press conferences that just took place. Clay, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, my friend. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm happy about one thing, because this was going to lead us down the ugliest path ever. And I'm super happy that apparently they did not want to try to force these women into signing the non-disclosures, because if that was the case, you would have had to demand that Stephen Ross get the hell out of the NFL, because that would have been a really incredible, disgraceful act, because you're kind of like dissing the women right away by saying, you're not important. Here's the money. Get away from here. We need our football team on track. It would have been a terrible look if that was true.
Well, and I would say that I'm not going to say it was the sole reason why Chris Grier met with us today, but it was certainly an enormous reason why he did. Was he wanted to get out that. And, you know when you head into these news conferences that you're going to ask some questions and you're going to get answers, and a lot of the answers are going to be on script, and there's going to be a message that they the law to make 100% certain that everybody knew that they were not involved in any of that. And he made it 100% clear, and he said he was really angry about it.
Clay, if you can, walk away a little bit from the building, because you're going to get more interference because you're closer to the building. If you walk away, we'll probably get a cleaner signal.
All right, let me get off Wi-Fi, see if that helps.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And all right, so when you start to look at what Chris Grier had to say about some of the things, first of all, which is the first thing that really popped up for you outside of the non-disclosures, which is something that we all knew had to get cleared up?
Say it one more time. I think I lost you as we were cutting in and out.
what's the other point from Chris Grier that really stood out from you outside of the non-disclosures that we were able to clear that up? What's the next thing in your eyes that you saw that you wanted to, that you needed, that you got, maybe you got some clarity or not enough?
I would say that there's no regret at all for how any of this was handled. I think Chris Grier feels as though he was doing his job as the team's GM. And, you know, as I said earlier, you know that you're going to get certain messaging out, and the messaging that you always get is, we're going to do what's in the best interest of the team. It's our job to pursue whatever avenue we need to make the team better. I guess what was a little surprising is that there didn't seem to be any remorse, isn't the right word, but I would say feeling that how it was approached could have been handled better. And, you know, I'd say that was the biggest takeaway I had.
When I saw Chris Grier kind of say that, you know, we collectively as an organization that we didn't make the move and all that stuff, I almost felt like this was more Ross driven than anything else. I kind of get that feeling. I don't know why, but, you know, the history of the whole Harbaugh situation and all the other things that he's kind of mishandled and all that. And I almost feel like if I'm the general manager, I'm saying, you know, hey, I spoke with everybody, but I decided that this is not in the best interest of the team, so we're not going. But there was no I in there at any point for Chris. And it was all about we. And I almost felt like he had to say we because it may not have been powered by him. It might have been powered by somebody above him. We don't have the proof. We don't know. But I'm just saying, from track record, that's kind of the feeling I get. I wonder what goes through your mind.
Well, and to your point, if that were the case, you're not going to hear it.
Right.
And I don't know that we would ever find that out. You know, I will say that I felt it was pretty – he came out really strong against what it seemed like Busby was trying to – Tony Busby, the attorney representing the people the women who have filed suit against Watson. He came out pretty strong denying what was said by him. And so to your point about was this Ross driven, whatever, I think if whoever was driving it, I think the biggest key that they wanted to hammer home today was that whether it was Ross, whether it was Grier, whether it was Flo, whether it was a collaboration, they wanted to make it 100% clear that was a bridge that they never, ever wanted to cross. And you know, they wanted to pursue Watson and didn't want to have anything to do with any of the negotiations, anything along those lines. And they wanted to make it very clear. The negotiations with the women in the civil suit. And that was something that, I mean, he was trembling. Like you could tell there was anger in his voice that was even insinuated. So, you know, whether the whole thing was Ross driven, whether the whole thing was Grier driven, collaboration, I don't know that we'll ever have the answer to that. But they wanted to make 100% clear that was not the case, that they were never involved at that level.
You know what? The other thing that they're so lackadaisical about, and I guess they have to be in a way, but they actually think that this is not something that should affect Tua or the team, which I find it ridiculous to think. Right. Because if the people above don't believe in the person that is the most important position on the team, then how in the hell is everybody else going to believe in him when all they're reading is that you're trying to replace him? And so these are things that's the part to me that's why, again, I kind of feel it's Ross driven, because Ross has very little awareness of those kind of things, where I feel Grier and Flo should have a lot of awareness of those kind of things. Plus, it's so unrealistic to think that any of these – man, when Rosenhaus came out on Channel 7 2 weeks prior to the season starting saying, oh, no, it's a possibility it could be resolved, I was laughing my ass off. And then again, when people are thinking that this could be resolved by this trading deadline, I was laughing my ass off, because it's like, do you guys know anything about the court system? And now with COVID, how much everything's been delayed? Do you think that this thing is going to happen in just a couple of months? This is going to drag on for a long, long time. So for me, that's the part that's kind of hazy about all of this.
There's a disconnect somewhere, to your point. And when you hear Busby speak yesterday, and I don't even know what level he would know, because I think he even said he didn't speak directly with the Dolphins.
Right.
So there's a disconnect in how far along in the process they could have even been when it comes to settling these suits. Because when you hear Busby speak, there was never a chance that all 22 were going to be settled. There was a barely even a minute chance that you would get 18 or 20 or whatever. So where's the disconnect there? Was it the communication between Watson's team and the Dolphins? Was there a disconnect between Busby's team and Watson's team? Like, where was that disconnect to where, to your point, there was ever a feeling that all of this could be resolved in time for the deadline? So to me, what I'll never understand with this thing is I kept reading over and over, and it started to drive me crazy that this is complicated and this is why it's taking so long. Like, no, it's not. It's not complicated. You call the Texans and you say, this is what we're going to offer contingent upon this. You guys figure the rest of this out. By you guys, I mean the Texans and
Right.
Watson, because there should never have been. I don't know what the negotiation would have even been. I mean, you put this to bed in the preseason by saying this is our final offer. These are the contingencies. There was nothing else to negotiate along the way. And maybe I'm naive on this thing. I can't imagine that this team is 1-7 if this cloud weren't hanging over them all year. I'm not saying they're a 4-3 or 5-2 team, but there's no way this team. I'm not saying they're a talented group, but they're not this bad. They showed us a lot better last year. Not 1-7 bad. I mean, I think this cloud is a lot more influential than I think anybody here really wants to believe.
Clay, I happen to think this is the worst coaching staff I've ever seen in the history of the Miami Dolphins.
And maybe
I was just talking about this before you came on. I don't have time for you to put training wheels on your team, dude, on your coaches. I understand Javon Holland needs seasoning, and I understand any other young player on this team needs to grow. I have patience for them. I don't have patience for your coaches, dude. Spo has turned over his staff like 3 times or 4 times since he's been, at least 3, I think it is. Since he's been the head coach. He's had all kinds of different coaches. The winning doesn't stop, dude, because when you add a guy, you're adding a guy that's competent. That's my problem with this. Not only are we breaking in players, we're trying to break in coaches, for Christ's sake. This guy hired guys from high school and college. That, to me, that's the real problem. I don't believe all these players are this bad. I don't believe all these draft picks are so bad. Maybe Austin Jackson is, but I don't believe everybody else is so bad. I really believe the coaching has hurt this team because every week it's the same issues, penalties, mistakes. They're not prepared. They can't line up. Your field goal kicker can't hit field goals now, or he gets it blocked all of a sudden. It's just a disaster everywhere. And I blame Flo and his staff more than anything else this season. I really do.
Well, and I think when you say staff, I think there's certainly something to be said there. Because look, I mean, they've got more people running that offense than I think than is necessary anywhere. And I certainly think that when you have that many voices, to your point, I think it would certainly lead to a lot of the problems that we're seeing.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, my brother. On a good note, what an ass-kicking performance last night, man. You guys are going to have a lot of fun tomorrow on the Pallet Rock City Inside the Paint show.
Can't wait, my man. It'll be a blast.
That's going to be a blast. 9 a.m. tomorrow. You can catch Ira and Clay and follow him on Twitter at ClayWPLG. Clay, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Anytime, my man.
You got it. There you go. Clay Ferraro, baby. All right, you'll catch him tomorrow, 9 a.m., 9 to 10 with Ira. It'll all be good stuff because it'll be about the Heat. He's done with the bad stuff. Okay, that's it. I'm telling you that to me, just think. I don't think a lot of people have thought about that part that I just said about the coaches before he came on, and now I repeated it. We're watching them train coaches to learn how to coach at this level. in order to succeed at this level, because most of these guys have never succeeded at this level. So they've got to learn how to coach and try to outcoach the guy on the other side that's smarter than them and better than them and more experienced and more prepared. So I'm the idiot. I'm the moron sitting here watching a head coach that has to then break in his coaches, and they've got to learn how to coach at this level before they can actually teach their own players how to play at this level. I just want you to think about that one. Okay? Just sit down, marinate on that one. Okay? That's what we're doing here in Miami. We are watching a young coaching staff have to learn how to coach at this level before they can actually teach their players. That's just ridiculous. You don't succeed that way. I'm sorry. You just don't succeed that way. Oh, man. 855-912-1056 is the text line. That's 855-912-1056 is the text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Big O Radio Show. No, Big O Show on Twitter. I'm sorry. On email, Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. That's Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. You can also make a donation to the program. Help us grow. Cash App and Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. There we go. Listen to this guy. Don't have nothing to do with Watson by them losing. That's why they're losing. 1-7. Really, let's do the head in his head. Huh? I don't know what the Jeffrey P. I don't know. You got to put down the drink, bro. It's only 11:26. Well, maybe it's 5:26 where you're at. Thomas Jensen says, I predict Fuller will not play another snap this year. Well, does it really matter at this point? I don't really care about Will Fuller anymore at this point. We're done, man. It's 1-7. Ross being a clueless owner who likes to meddle in team affairs never helps either. I agree. Let's see. Big O whines about this all the time. Shula should have brought in Jimmy Johnson to be his defensive coordinator when he lost the AFC Championship game to Buffalo, but he kept Olivedati. Luigi, what kind of stupid stuff is that, my brother? Come on, I love you, but you think Jimmy Johnson was going to come here to be Shula's defensive coordinator? He's a head coach, bro. He's a head coach. Come on, man. Trade deadline was a dud yesterday. Well, I mean, that's because, you got media members pumping crap up to sell, and get all kinds of clicks. Just like you had all these guys from Pro Football Talk and all that. Oh, the trade is imminent. Yeah, no, they're close. Oh, it could happen in these next 2 weeks before the season starts. Oh, no, it is set to happen by the trading deadline. Who the hell thought about all this, man? Any of them have any common sense? Because I'm not very smart, and I knew they weren't going to have anything done by the trading deadline. I mean, Drew Rosenhaus has got to be smarter than me. He got a law degree. I don't have one. But yet I knew that they would not have everything done by the beginning of the season or the trade deadline, and yet he didn't. And Pro Football Talk also, dude, doesn't he have a law degree? Oh, no, yeah, the trade is imminent. Yeah, oh, yeah, they're close. They were never close. It was never going to happen. You're full of shit. That's all it is. You're all full of crap. Chris Adams says, Clay is right. I've been saying it all year. This team is underperforming because of all this nonsense. It's why I wanted us to make a trade to end it. I don't think so. I think that the distractions don't help, but I think coaching is the bigger problem, Chris. Maybe no distractions, maybe you have another win, but I think coaching is what's crippled this team. Okay? Crippled. It's like grabbing a bat and just whacking at your knees. And you just fall to the ground because you can't walk anymore. That's what this coaching staff has done to these players and this team. I'm telling you, this coaching staff is a disgrace to coaching in the NFL. This is the worst coaching staff ever. And ladies and gentlemen, we had Cam Cameron here and company. That staff was way better than this one. Musa Hamadeh says, and thank you, sir, for the super chat. It was a red flag for me when 3 players they signed in 2020 free agency got let go the following year. Always switching coaches. We'll get a new OC again. You're right. You're right. You know, at first I didn't have a problem changing coaches because if you don't like somebody, yeah, change. You get somebody else, find somebody better. I get that. But problem is you can't find anybody better, and you keep finding. And then you came up with this concoction that at first it kind of made sense, but then the way you ended up having it, that everybody was calling plays, then that doesn't make any sense. If it was the way I still haven't wasted my time to go back to get the audio, because I am certain in one of those clips that he was talking about I am so sure that he was talking about it. He said, hey, Gase makes the calls, and then Fry relays them, and then we'll tell him something that he sees or that, but not change the play. He never said that. And then that's what came in after. That, oh, no, and then this whole collective BS. I am positive he explained it that way. I just don't feel like going back and wasting my time and trying to find the damn audio clip or video clip. If any of you want to do it, go ahead. But I'm sure that he described it that way in one of those, because he answered it a couple times. I want to say it was like the second time that not the first time he answered it. I think the second time is when he kind of said, hey, look, Gase makes the calls, and then Fry relays them, but can add a little something to it if he sees something. And that made sense to me. But that all of them can call plays, and you've got a committee. Oh no, that doesn't make any sense. That makes zero sense. Trade was never close because the Dolphins had to clear $16 million in cap space. Yeah, but they can do that. You can always clear cap space. You can find ways to do that. It's the legal issues, my brother. You just talked about the easiest part of doing that. They can clear cap space. You find ways to do that. You restructure contracts and push money back. You can open it up quickly if you have to. So that has nothing to do with it. I don't believe the present coach and general manager can fix anything on this situation. I think it's already done with them. Big Gary, you know what? A lot of people are going to feel that way. And right now, because at 1-7, there's no way I can defend anything at this point. You have every right to feel that way. Luigi says JJ could have, if he knew he was going to take over the team when Shula retired at that time. Hank Goldberg even suggested that. Yeah, the problem is Shula didn't want to retire, my brother. Remember, Shula got pushed out? So if Jimmy becomes a defensive coordinator and he's successful, then how's Shula going to retire, my man? You get it? So, and by the way, I don't know if you know, see, Luigi, where that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He burns out in 5 years, Jimmy. So you're already wasting clock time by him being your defensive coordinator. Jimmy's not the guy. He doesn't rub me as the guy that wants to be your co-host, your second man. You get what I'm saying? I was at 640 Sports doing the show, and QAM approached me 3 times in 4 years about returning to QAM. The first time they approached me, they told me, hey, we got an opportunity. They didn't like Kevin Kiley, and so they wanted me to pair up with Michael Irvin. And they wanted to, and I go to him, so you want me to pair up, or am I his sidekick? And yeah, it's going to be the Michael Irving show. And I go, really? And I go, why would I do that? He goes, well, no, it's a way we can bring him back. And, they're trying to sell it to me. And I look at him and I go, I forgot more sports than Michael Irving will ever know. Michael Irving's a schmuck compared to me when it comes to sports talk. What the does he know? Outside of football, what does he know? Hey, I love Michael Irving. He's my favorite football player. But when it comes to radio, I have no respect for Michael Irving. He can't do a radio show. He's a clown that preaches for 3 hours. Michael Irving's good for a segment. You bring him on as a guest. He's not a talk show host. That's what I told them. They got mad, obviously, but they came back twice, 2 more. They eventually brought me back. But I told them, I'm no second fiddle to Michael Irving. I'm not co-hosting with him. What are you, out of your mind? I go, you hired a guy that can't even do a live spot. Because, most people aren't like Channing, and certainly you don't find Joe Roses. Most of these guys, most of these athletes, first of all, they struggle to put a goddamn sentence together. They can't ever put a live spot together and put any passion behind it because they don't care. They're not going out with a salesperson to go meet the client because they don't care. I know about all these things. You know how many athletes I've worked with? Most of them can't do our jobs. And the same way, Jimmy Johnson is no sidekick to anybody. He was going to be a coach at Oklahoma State, head coach. He was going to be a head coach at the University of Miami, and he was going to be a head coach in the NFL. He wasn't going to be anybody's coordinator, dude. So, and he would feel just as insulted as I was when QAM approached me about being Michael Irving's co-host. Get the hell out of here, Michael Irving. Michael Irving can't hold my jock as a talk show host. Okay? I can't hold his jock as a football player, and maybe at football X's and O's in sight. But that dude couldn't drive a radio show for anything in his life. That's why he was a failure every time he did a radio show. He only gets by because of fans that love him and all that. But if you really, get down to it, he can't do a radio talk show, dude. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. He's as terrible at radio as great as he was in football. Let's put it that way. Okay? It's like, let's call things like we see it here. Just because you're a jock doesn't mean you can do this job. So just like I wouldn't be no sidekick to a sorry-ass talk show host like Michael Irving, there's no way that Jimmy Johnson would have been a sidekick to Don Shula. Okay? So I hope I'm clear enough, Luigi, on that. And if you really think about it, okay, Jimmy Johnson is alpha, right? Right? And I hate to be full of myself on here, but I'm alpha also. I'm not a sidekick to anybody. I don't do that shit. I never have, never will. 31 years, and I've led my own show every single time. And that's the way it's always going to be, because I'm not anybody's sidekick. And neither is Jimmy Johnson. So if you ever thought that, you didn't understand Jimmy Johnson. Just like when QAM reached out to me that first time, and they thought that, they didn't really understand me. Same thing. Big O, Dario Castro, thank you, sir. Big O, even if we clean house with these suites. By the way, one thing on this show, you're going to find out a lot of dirt over time about all the crap that goes on behind radio that you guys probably never knew about. You will find out eventually, because all these little stories will come out of me eventually, and I'll tell you about all of them. Big O, even if we clean house with the suites, or the suits, I'm sorry, who can you bring in? Who would want to come to this snake pit? We'll We'll cross that mess when we get to it, my man. David Holt, thank you also for a little super chat. Last I checked, the NFL has the best players in the world, so how can they teach the best if they're not the masters at their craft? Makes no sense, fins up. Exactly, my brother. That's exactly it. You think about it, that's what these people are doing. They are teaching coaches to learn how to coach at this level to then teach NFL players. There are players walking around there that know more than that. Irving likes to party. Irving looks like a good dude. You know what I mean? Just Irving, whatever, bro. I'm talking radio. He hasn't earned any stripes with me on radio. So I don't care, bro. You know what I mean? He's a football player. He ain't a radio host. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Nice guy. Stay the hell away from radio. You can't do it. I remember him. He only cares about Hig. What's Hig? I don't know what that is. Big O, I'm from Buffalo, and I was so pissed after the AFC Championship game. Had to fly down and fly back up. Chartered plane full of Bills fans. Damn, Luigi, that's terrible. Luigi, I'm with you, brother. I went with the wife. She was my girlfriend then. We went up to the Bills game where BB broke his leg and all that in the snow, and we were in Dolphins garb, dude, top to bottom, everything inside Rich Stadium, baby. Okay, that's how I roll. That's how alphas roll. Alphas roll in to Rich Stadium with all of their Dolphin gear, baby. F them. Big O should bring on EDP 445 as co-host. I don't even know who the hell that is. Let's see. I get Quinn from Dallas. Took Atlanta to a Super. Oh, dude, Quinn is terrible. Dan Quinn? Are you serious, Tommy? Dan Quinn? Ugh. God, he is weak. He's a defensive coordinator, my brother. I would never hire Dan Quinn. Alex Diaz. Little love on Super Chat. Thank you, sir. He says, you are the GOAT of radio. No, I'm not the GOAT of radio. That I'm not, but I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Love it, and I always support the people I listen to. If Grier's gone, would you be okay with Louis Riddick at GM? Alex, I don't know what the answer is. At this point, bring on whatever if you're going to make changes or whatever, man. I just want my Dolphins to win, man. I want somebody to figure it out. I almost feel like it's better that we get Pat Riley to run, even though he's never done football. I almost feel like Ross should go over to Pat Riley and say, like, who do you think we should hire? You know, Pat, I know you're a basketball guy, but take your time. Do some homework for a month. Come back to me and tell me who we should hire, because something tells me if you did homework for a month, it might be better than everything we did the last 20 years. I'm joking. I'm having fun with it. I just want us to win, man. I just want the Dolphins to win. I want all of you to be celebrating championships or championship. Just one. I'm not asking for 10. I'm asking for one. That's all. We deserve it, man. We deserve it. I'm so freaking tired of everything that's gone on. Drew Rosenhaus, smart play, free advertisement. Got respect for that. Yeah, that's true. That is what he gets on Channel 7. He gets free advertisement every week. Karen S. says, Big O, never a good sign when fans want coaches way past their coaching days. Surprised no one asked to hire Holmgren or Vince Lombardi. I've gotten the Holmgren one. Vince Lombardi's dead, but I have gotten the Holmgren one. I've gotten the Walrus. I've gotten, we should hire Holmgren. We should hire Jim Harbaugh, which, again, like, what is wrong with some of you out there? Tommy, you're not the only one that made the bad suggestion of Dan Quinn. I love you, Tommy. Thank you for the sticker. You know I love you. I got nothing but love for you, but Dan Quinn is horrible. All right? What's the other bad one? Oh, no, we should ask Tony Dungy to come out of retirement. Let's ask Bill Polian to come out of retirement. Let's ask Ozzie Newsome to come out of retirement. You know what I love? All these people had great jobs and retired. And they retired because they're done. But now you want them to come out of retirement to go to a terrible situation. So all those old men, you just want to like finish them off. Like, hey, Bill, we know you're probably close to 75, 80 years old and you're taking all kinds of blood pressure medication, everything, all kinds of stuff. Why don't you come on over here and we'll give you a good old heart attack? Hey, Tony, your life is beautiful. You're a Super Bowl champion. You did great. You capped off your career with the Colts. It's over. Boom. You got a sweet gig on NBC. You look good too, man. Hey, why don't you come on over and unretire and let's hand you a ton of stress so we can make you age like a U.S. president. So yes, I've gotten all those suggestions, and none of them make any sense, and none of them are realistic. Although the Dan Quinn one, I mean, that's realistic at least. It's a terrible one, but it's realistic. Big old Dolphins and football aside, can you think of any coaching staff in any sport worse than the one the Dolphins have now? No, I can't. Vaughn, I've been saying this for a while. And by the way, good luck to you with the Rams. Kick ass over there, Vaughn. That is Von Miller, folks. Von Miller checking in. No, this is the worst. I've been saying this for weeks now. This is the worst staff I have ever seen. In the NFL, for sure. Well, maybe not the NFL, because I don't know all 32, their history, but definitely for sure the Dolphins. It's the worst staff, I would say, in the NFL right now, not ever, but it's definitely the worst staff I've ever seen for the Miami Dolphins. It's not even close. Let's see. Okay, Chris Adams, thank you for a little love on the super chat. Because you believe the coaching staff has failed us, do you think Flo loses his job? Is this going to really help the team? I hate this rebuilding. I'm with you. I think it's all on Chris Grier right now. And this was his decision. And this, listen, I've told you before, I like Chris Grier. And I don't believe all these players that he picked are all terrible. I don't. But I do believe that he picked the wrong coach. And I do believe that the coach that he has can't get a staff. And I think that's set everything back, because you cannot be this kind of a disaster. And then we're going to say, oh, no, every player is bad. No. Every player is bad because they look like Steve Young in Tampa. That's why. So I don't know if they'll do it. Here's this. I'll tell you this. If they don't fire anybody, then I keep thinking this is all Ross driven. Everything. He wanted Tua, and then he gave up on Tua and wanted Watson. I don't know. It's just crazy. At noon, by the way, we will have Alan Poupart joining us with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report. Papa Tony Gaming says maybe Ross kept the picks and future cap space instead of going for Watson for the next regime to make the moves. No, dude, there's nothing to keep, my brother. There are no legal issues resolved. You can't make the trade. They just said that. It's just you needed to get that resolved, and that wasn't going to be resolved. That was the unrealistic part. Why does Big O hate Jim Harbaugh? He had success at the NFL level. Yes, he did early on, and then it was dying off. Richard, do your homework. Go back and look. They had Schneider and McLaughlin who loaded those teams up. Those San Francisco teams were some of the most talented teams in the NFL in the last 15 years. Okay? And I know they didn't win anything, but I'm just telling you, they were that talented. That helped Colin, actually. And to Harbaugh's credit, he designed an offense that Kaepernick can throw in. But as you noticed, it was dying out in his run. And as it was getting worse, they were also losing players to free agency. So Harbaugh, and as you can tell, if you're really that good, you'll go to college and you'll go to Michigan where you have all the resources and you'll win. but he can't even beat ranked teams in college. And he has it's not like he's coaching at Southeastern Louisiana. He's coaching at Michigan, where you have every resource possible. He's as overrated as it gets, my brother. Okay? I don't hate Harbaugh. I got nothing against Harbaugh, but I just think he's terrible decision to hire for the Miami Dolphins, just like Dan Quinn. I'm not sure I don't hate Dan Quinn and I don't hate Jim Harbaugh, but I hate the decision of them coaching the Miami Dolphins. That part I hate, but I don't hate them. It's ridiculous. Some of you out there, man, I don't know. Let's take a quick break. Give me 2 minutes. Get some fluids in the throat here and get some honey and lemon in. And we start hour number 3. Alan Poupar will join us direct from camp in Miami Gardens to talk about this Dolphins mess and the press conference. Back with more.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Excuse me there. All right. Welcome aboard hour number 3 of the program. And those of you asking me about future coaches, look, man, Flo is probably coming back and so is Grier. But if they don't, When they don't, we'll get into that conversation. I'm not going to waste my time talking about this coach or that coach to take over for the Dolphins. We got 9 more games left on this season. Do you understand that? Okay. So we've got way more things to talk about. First, let's find out. You know what it is to be talking about future coaches for the next couple of weeks, and then they keep flow anyway? And then what? You think I'm going to waste my time? I've got to take care of my throat. Okay. It's kind of what I make a living with. I don't want to waste my time talking about silly stuff until it actually happens. So when they fire Flo, if they fire Flo, then we'll talk about it. If they make changes in the front office, then we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? So let's wait till there's actual changes, then we'll actually talk about it. Because this whole Watson thing, think about what we've done for months now. I've been fighting it the entire time, telling you they're never going to resolve these legal issues. And yet I'm talking about Watson. I got to talk about Watson. And then what? What did we do for the last couple of months? All we did was waste our time. And what they did was create a distraction for themselves for no reason at all. They could have easily put the kibosh on it. But the fact that they didn't put the kibosh on it makes me say, this is the best part about all of this. Think about this. I knew you couldn't get those legal issues resolved by the beginning of the season or the trading deadline. They had an opportunity to put the kibosh on everything, saying, hey, we're not trading for anybody. We think Deshaun Watson is a fantastic player, but we are committed to Tua. Thank you. We're moving on. And you would have put it to an end. The thing is, they must have thought, Ross must have had some kind of an idea that there's a possibility you can fix these legal issues by the time the trading deadline rolls around. Why would you continue then your talks? Why would you not crush it? These are things that just... So let's wait, because maybe this has been all owner driven. Maybe he wanted Tua, and maybe he also now wanted Watson. And maybe these guys are just doing what he wants, and they've got to say what he wants because they're making nice money. But if you got to tolerate, Dan Snyder Jr., well, then you got to tolerate Dan Snyder Jr. I'm telling you, if everybody comes back next year, it tells me that this was owner driven more than anything else. Why would you? There was no way you were going to resolve all these legal issues. I knew it. Drew Rosenhaus didn't, right? Pro Football Talk didn't, and apparently the Dolphins didn't either. Like everybody, like the cops are, well, we got 10 criminal complaints we're investigating. Oh, you guys want to trade for Watson? Well, Mr. Ross, why didn't you say that? You know what, Mr. Ross? We'll have our investigations done just for you by tomorrow, and we'll close out everything. Okay, sir? All right, no problem. All right, don't let the ears grow too much more. And then he goes over and talks to, hey, listen, we need to settle with these 22 women. Oh, of course, Mr. Ross. You need Mr. Watson? Oh, yes, no problem. All right, let me talk to the 22 ladies. We'll get the deals done. Hang in there. Don't let the ears grow any more than they are. No, that's not going to happen. Michael Irvin for head coach. Well, he'll do better with that than he does radio. So yeah, why not? He's got a much better chance at succeeding actually as a head coach than he does as a radio host. So you might want to that might be a good move for Michael Irvin. Anthony Campbell says, Big O, I think I'm going to do a Sports Grill Sunday season tickets. Any location you'll be at. Hey, Bird Road, baby, from here on out for the next 9 games. Bird Road. Next year, Doral, for the rest of the season, Bird Road, 114th and Bird Road, right off the turnpike. It's so easy. It's 3 blocks literally off of the turnpike. It's awesome. So you'll get right back on the turnpike, go south, north, wherever the hell you want to go. You need to go to the Palmetto, you drive a little east, 15 minutes, you're on the Palmetto and you're gone. Your history, you're in the archives. So please come on out, man. Let's watch the game together. Let's suffer together. Let's have some fun, have some good food. So you're more than welcome, Anthony. Come on over, my brother. Jeff says, I have an idea. Let's beat the Texans on Sunday. That would be nice. God, get a win, please. Get a win. Trekkie Trek says, Big O, I feel sorry for Tua. He got forced into an arranged marriage. Poor kid ended up with a fat bird with an arm hair and bad breath. God bless you, Big O, from the UK, brother. Thank you, Trekkie Trek. I appreciate you, man. Daniel Grafton says, BTT, Torrent, and VeChain to the moon, I hope. BitTorrent now just added layer 2. They just added it at the end of this month here. Last month, October. So BitTorrent now teaming up with Tron, and Tron has like 5 times the transactions that PayPal does. So now they're going to be on VeChain's on BitTorrent's blockchain. And BitTorrent is building the bridges already now to connect to Ethereum, to Cardano, and to Binance. Okay, so the three biggest blockchains, and then they're building bridges to connect to the other blockchains like Solana, Cosmos, things like that. So they will be able to obviously do more business. I believe the BitTorrent coin will start growing even more in 2022, actually. But I think during these last 2 months of this bull run here in November and December, I believe BitTorrent will go up a little bit more. It already has, by the way. If those of you that got in on it, when I told you in the last month, you got it at 36 or something, 37, 35. It's up to 40, 41 now. So you're already making money if you got in on it, like I told you. But I expect it's only at 1/4 of a penny right now. I expect it to get to a couple pennies, which will obviously you're going to 6-7 times your money. But I think it'll be into next year where we'll start to see that. And then as for VeChain already starting to make a little bit of a climb. I am waiting for like what happened to Crow now. Crow, by the way, Crow is getting put on Coinbase. It's on Coinbase Pro, which will then go to Coinbase in the next week. And Crow, I've been a big proponent of Crow for a long time. That's Crypto.com's own currency, Crow. And it's going to start soaring also. It's already at 25, which is an all-time high. It was at 24 a couple of months ago. Then we had the market correction. Now it's bounced back, and it's gone to all-time highs now, and it's going to continue to climb. It's been really strong if you look at it over 3 months. VeChain, I expect it to start doing the same thing. It hasn't hit that parabolic run yet. It did go to 25, and then it retraced. Now it's starting to climb up again. I believe it's around 14, 15. I expect this thing to start soaring, and I would think it would get to $1 at some time in 2022. So VeChain will end up growing too. I'm a huge believer in VeChain. They have no competition right now in the crypto community, which is incredibly important because there are other companies that are competing against each other for the same kind of services. Okay, that's the gamble that people are taking with XRP right now with Ripple because of Stellar Lumens and other companies that do kind of the same thing they do. And while they're stuck with the SEC, everybody else is trying to catch up. And that's going to hurt XRP. But competition is always different because it separates the money. But if you are the only game in town, then all the money is going to flow to you. And VeChain is one of those that is doing something that nobody else does. Okay, so that's why I think it's also very positive. All right, it is time to get our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins insider report. Let's get the latest with what went on with the Dolphins, with the man, the myth, the legend that is Alan Poupart. He joins us next.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road in 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
By the way, Jared, he's saying, what app should I use? I'm a crypto.com app guy. I have a link on my Twitter page. You can use it. You can get $25 free. I suggest you get their Visa card. There's no charges, no service, no nothing. Plus, there's several benefits. Start off with the Ruby Red, and you'll get $25 for free. So there you go, crypto.com. So, Alan, you into crypto yet? Have we gotten you into crypto yet?
Can't say I have.
Telling you, man, you're falling behind, bro. You're falling behind.
You're not the first one who told me that.
Not 1-7 behind, but you're falling behind. Had to get that in there. Had to get in there. All right. So, first of all, I guess a huge relief for the Dolphin Nation that they weren't involved in trying to force these non-disclosures, because that would have been a terrible look, right? I mean, the part to me was the only good thing that came out of this damn press conference.
Yeah, and if you know Chris Grier, he's about the most laid-back, mellow guy ever. Completely nice guy, but the thing that stands out the most about him is incredibly mellow, and I have never seen him get upset. And today he was visibly upset when he was asked that question, and then denied that the Dolphins basically would ever think of doing something like that.
Yeah, so
that,
at least
that would have been bad. I mean,
oh no, I would have demanded that Ross get the hell out. Ross needs to leave. Then, if that was the case, Ross needs to leave, because that would have been that's disgraceful, dude. That you would have gone trying to get into. That's like telling the women, you're not important here. Take the money, sweetheart. We need our football team on track. You know, that would have been a terrible look. So that part I'm glad, because they've had enough of those kind of, bullygate embarrassments. All that. You definitely don't need this one. So now walk me through this. So I'm an idiot.
You said it, not me.
And that's fine. And my wife says it all the time too. So it's all right. I'm used to it. It's all right. I've been beaten down. I'm a talk show host. You know how many names I get called? So it's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm the idiot that I'm not very smart. Okay, I don't have a high IQ or anything like that. But I knew that you're not going to resolve any of these cases like Drew Rosenhaus thought 2 weeks prior to the season starting. And then, whether it's Drew Rosenhaus or Pro Football Talk, thinking that you're going to resolve it before the trading deadline. And so that's the realistic part of it. And if you really look at it, then you had an opportunity to put the kibosh on all of this, and you let it fester. And so I'm just wondering about that contradiction of all of that going on. And then here's the other thing that you just talked about, a gentleman in Chris Grier. And I kind of feel that Chris Grier is a lot smarter than that he really wouldn't want to be involved in this kind of a mess. Knowing what Chris Grier is and how he carries himself, I don't think he would want to be in this mess. And I still have a feeling that, and you said this, that it's owner-driven more than anything. Not that you said it was owner-driven, but you said clearly a couple months ago that you heard that the owner wanted Watson. And that's stuck in my mind. And I'm thinking about Harbaugh, and I'm thinking about celebrating the Gators, and I'm thinking about an orange carpet, and I'm thinking about all the bully gate and everything else that's gone on this team under Ross's watch. And I just have that feeling that this is all Ross again. So you tell me.
It's not impossible. Here's the one part of the equation that's been left out, both from the reports yesterday and from Chris Grier. And we, of course, from Chris Grier, I wouldn't expect him to tell us exactly why the Dolphins decided to stop pursuing the trade. But is it as simple? And again, this is me spitballing. Like playing devil's advocate and asking questions that need to be asked. Is it as simple as the Dolphins pulled away from making a trade because the legal issues could not be settled? Or is it because the Dolphins did not want to pay the price that the Texans kept asking with the legal situation unresolved? So that's two different topics. I mean, two different situations there. And I'm not sure we'll ever get clarity on that. We're certainly not going to get it from the Dolphins. At this point, I'm not sure there's any point in anybody leaking it. So I don't know if we'll ever know. But that's two separate issues. As far as it being owner-driven, that's entirely possible. Like I said, I heard that, yes, that Stephen Ross absolutely loved Deshaun Watson and the idea of having that kind of a quarterback. And there's nothing wrong with that because Deshaun Watson, as we talked about before, is clearly a top 5 quarterback. And if you have one of those at his age, you're set to logically be in a position to contend year in and year out for a long time.
You'll be massaging the playoffs every year. I got you.
Correct. And obviously there's a lot of baggage, and that's the situation. And because of the fact that the Dolphins did do their due diligence, and as Chris Grier said Wednesday morning, if you have a player of that caliber who becomes available, you owe it to yourself to investigate it. Well, guess what? They're going to investigate it again after the offseason unless Tua completely blows them away in the final 9 games of the regular season, which I tend to doubt will happen. My guess is that Tua is going to be, again, at his best, very efficient, and he's going to put up really good numbers against bad teams, and it's going to be so-so against good teams. So you're going to see him Sunday when they play Houston. My guess is he could have a 280-yard, 3-touchdown game, and the Dolphins logically win because Houston is so god-awful. But then 4 days later, it's Baltimore coming to Hard Rock Stadium, and that becomes the litmus test. And if Tua can put up those kinds of numbers, then we're talking.
So you use Buffalo as a litmus test?
The Buffaloes, the Baltimores, yes, absolutely. It's one thing to put it.
You used it as a litmus test. Okay.
Absolutely, no question. Tua has to have.
So week one against the Bills, Big Ben, 188 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Big Ben is shot. Big Ben is shot.
Okay, Henneke, week 3, 212, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mills, 87 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Mahomes, 272, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tannehill, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Nobody passes on the Bills, my brother. Nobody. Not even with good teams you pass on the Bills. So how do you expect Tua? See, that I find that to be that narrative that you just used, and I pulled it out on Omar too. I find it to be incredibly unfair because people then don't go back and look, well, wait a minute, dude, everybody struggles against the Bills. It's not a Tua thing. If Pat Mahomes can't play good against the Bills, who the hell else is going to play well against the Bills? And the great Tannehill didn't play better than Tua against the Bills.
Okay.
They all sucked. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you do against the Bills. You suck because they're better than everybody.
Except the quarterbacks you mentioned, other than Mahomes, who is not having a good year, is not having a Mahomes year, do you want Tua to reach the level of any of those quarterbacks? Would you be happy with that, or you want something better? I want something better.
But my point is, I want something better, but you're not going to get better if you don't have a better line, if you don't have a better running game, if you don't have reliable receivers, my friend. Tua cannot do it by himself. We're asking him against the Bills to make chicken salad out of chicken you know what. But against sorry teams, he can do a little better because he plays with a sorry team. So that's why he's at an even level playing field. If he was playing with a good team, he could play good against good teams. But since he's playing with sorry-ass team and a sorry-ass coaching staff, by the way, the worst coaching staff I've ever seen in the Miami Dolphins history, it makes it that much harder to be competitive. That's my point, my brother.
Okay.
I think we are unfair to Tua in that sense. Oh, well, some of you, not me. Some of you.
That's fine. And except Ryan Tannehill goes to Tennessee, and he's been much, much better because he has a very good offensive line and because he has Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill is still, at best, a solid
game manager.
quarterback.
He's a good game manager. He's a good game manager.
Correct.
What he's turned into.
That. If you're going to tell me that Tua needs everything around him to be very, very good, you're telling me he's just at best a solid quarterback. I want more than that.
I don't know what he is, my brother, until I actually see him with real coaching that can actually prepare him with a real offensive line. I mean, Drew Brees needed help too, my man. You have to get Michael Thomas for him. You have to get, good running backs, whether it was Smith or now the Tennessee kid. All that kind of stuff is super important, man. They needed a tight end. They would always get him a good tight end. And that's Drew Brees, and he's going to the Hall of Fame. Drew Brees looked like crap the first couple of years in San Diego, and then he kind of figured it out, and then he got Sean Payton, and that took him to an absolute another level. Everybody needs a little help, my brother. You just can't do it by yourself.
I don't disagree with that, but if you need everything around you to be really good, you're just a solid quarterback. And again, I am not saying definitively that there's no chance Tua becomes above average, good, very good. I'm just saying based on what I've seen, even going back to college, the physical traits to me are not there. Okay. That he can't be more than just an efficient quarterback if everything around him, is working.
So great. he can't be Drew Brees, you're saying?
10% shot.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So you think Drew Brees is that much better than him? Okay. All right. That's where the disconnect is.
Okay.
See, I don't think there's any difference between him and Drew Brees. There's zero difference, I think. It's the same exact player, except one's a lefty and one's a righty. That's the only difference that I see. Same arm. Actually, Tua's a little bit better of an athlete. Actually, Tua's a better athlete than Brees is.
Not a comparison in arm. Zero comparison in arm. Sorry.
Oh, I think it's the same arm.
Yeah.
It's the same arm. Yeah,
we'll
man.
agree to disagree, my friend.
When you have a real pocket that you can like step up and really nice and unload, your arm will look better. But if you're constantly like behind a line that's on top of you, and you got to throw on top, and you're a short guy, it ain't gonna look too pretty, man.
I hate to break it to Big O. He made a couple of passes downfield in the fourth quarter against Buffalo where the pocket was clean. And that ball took a long time to get there, and it hung up. And to me, again, we can agree to disagree. Drew Brees, to me, had a clear level ahead above Tua in terms of arm strength.
Okay. All right. That's where you and I disagree on that one. What did you think about Flo's comment that when Omar asked him if he felt he had enough talent to overcome mistakes and what he had to say? Because I know to a certain extent he has to say certain things, but what did you think?
Yeah, I think he said exactly what he needed to say, because if he said, no, I think we're lacking in a couple of areas, then basically he's indicting himself and Chris Grier in terms of how they built the roster. So he's not going to do that. And again, how often has he gone back to it? There's a small margin between win or loss, and we just keep making little mistakes here and there and all that. Well, yeah, you keep making a little mistake because you're not a very good team. And then Chris Grier also today was asked about his recent drafts and basically talking about how he's happy with all the guys and their production and the way they're developing. And I'm thinking, wow, really?
Yeah, because he has to say he's happy with the talent, and he can't say I'm not happy with the development, because then that's taking a shot at Flo and his staff, which are, a bunch of minor leaguers that don't belong here. But, that's just and by the way, this is another point that I made today. The Dolphin Nation has to wait for a coaching staff to develop so then they can develop players, because that's basically what you're doing. It's a bunch of guys that have never really had success at this level coaching their positions or their units, and yet they're so inexperienced. It's impossible to think that they can actually prepare the players to go up against the guy on the other side that is well prepared and is already a seasoned coach. It's kind of ass backwards, in other words. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I feel.
But even forget about having success. Practically the entire staff is guys who are currently position coaches in the NFL for the first time. I mean, outside of Josh Boyer, George Godsey, and Eric Studesville, I think every other position coach, this is their first NFL job.
Yes,
I mean,
I know.
That's not an ideal scenario, and I'm not saying that's the reason that we're seeing problems with player development.
Oh no, that's the reason.
At some point, you have to kind of like do the correlation there.
That's the reason. In my eyes, the main reason why this team is terrible is because they have no coaching. I can't believe everybody's bad on this team. I'm just not doing that. I'm just not doing that.
No,
Every
facts.
draft pick, every veteran has failed. No, dude, no. All of a sudden, the kicker can't kick field goals and he's getting them blocked. Just all of a sudden like that. No, dude. No, I'm just no. I have Baker. I mean, dude, he was terrific last year. What happened to him? What are you doing?
Correct.
Where is he? I gotta blame Boyer and his staff for all of that kind of stuff. Whatever happens on offense, I gotta blame the 87 offensive coordinators, and I gotta blame the offensive line coach, for all of this stuff. To me, and in the end, I blame Flo because, and that's probably the ultimate indictment on him. He can't build a staff, Alan. That's a huge problem, dude.
That's a big part of
I
being a
talked
head
about
coach.
this yesterday. Dude, you're a historian like I am. I talked about this yesterday. Shula was great, but Shula also had some freaking awesome assistant coaches, man.
Yep.
When you have Orangeburger and you have Mike Westhoff, and you have guys that are just absolute monsters, Mel Phillips, and just great coaches that he had around him for so many years. It wasn't like Shula did it all by himself. You know what I mean? And that to me is the biggest problem on this team right now.
No, and then two guys you didn't mention that were on Shula's staff who later became head coaches tells you what kind of caliber they were in terms of assistant coaches. Bill Arnsparger, Monty Clark.
That's right.
I mean,
Monty Clark was
and
awesome.
another thing too is Shula went through like 2 offensive line coaches for like 25 years with Monty Clark and Jan Sandusky, and now it's practically a new offensive line coach every year. At some point, that has an effect, and part of being a successful NFL head coach is the ability to put a coaching staff together, and that's been a shortcoming. Another one is player-coach relationships. That's another area where all indications are that's not particularly Flores' forte. So, yeah, I mean, there are reasons things have gone south, and
So
not entirely on the talent level.
So the receiver, Van Noy, Minka, all this stuff, I remember receiver for you, those of you out there, Kenny Stills. So were these signs that we weren't paying attention to, and we gave the benefit of the doubt to Flo? Hey, coach has got to do what he's got to do, and either on board or off. Did we fail in paying attention to those signs? In other words.
Oh, well, to me, the Minka Fitzpatrick situation immediately was like red flag, red alert, danger. I mean, you do not dump that kind of talent just because you're going to be a jack of all trades in the secondary, and the guy, no, I want to play deep safety, and seems to me he's playing deep safety pretty well for the Steelers, and maybe there was something there. Obviously, you can't let every player tell you, and this is what I want to play, and this is going to be it. I understand that, but you got to make it work. And also, if you go back, the previous head coach of the Dolphins, Adam Gase, had the same issue. He had clashes where Jay Ajayi wound up getting him out of town. Jarvis Landry was traded, yes, partly because of his contract, but there were also issues with how he was getting along with Gase. The ability to manage player, that's another big part of being a successful NFL head coach. And yeah, the Minka Fitzpatrick one to me was like a major. I loved everything they did in 2019 in the way they were setting themselves up, for their rebuild. But the Minka Fitzpatrick move was just a major red flag for me.
And by the way, we do have to give Gase a little credit for one thing. He is a trendsetter, okay? Because he knew a pandemic was coming, and he was already teaching people about social distancing. Because nobody would stand around the guy, or when he was sitting on the bench, it was all by himself. So I give Gase a lot of credit. He was trying to teach us what we were going to have to do in the future with social distancing. So, let's give him a little love in that case.
But if we're gonna dump on Gase, I did the research after 40 games, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he's better.
Was 20-20. Joe Philbin was 20-20, and Brian Flores is 16-24.
I keep telling people that's why, because people have mentioned the other coaches, like no way. And I'm like, hey man, this staff is the worst staff. It's worse than Cam's. It's worse than it's worse than Cam's actually, and it's worse than Philbin and all these guys. And Philbin also had a trouble actually putting together a staff, although one of his assistant coaches is kicking ass as a head coach.
Except
Zach Taylor his guy?
Except when they lose
Zach Taylor his guy?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Zach Taylor is was he the son-in-law of Mike Sherman?
Right,
who
right.
brought over from Green Bay.
Right. Dude's 5-1, 6-1, or 5-2, or 6-2, whatever the hell he is.
5-3 after losing to the Jets.
5-3. That's right. He's kicking ass, dude. 5-3 in Cincinnati. They
Oh,
should put a damn statue outside the damn stadium.
And they're set at quarterback for 10 years.
Yes, they are. You are correct that the receiver's pretty damn good too. I like that. Flo, did you find it a little odd that his praise for Tua today was probably he laid it on a little thicker than he normally does? Did you pick up on that, or you don't think it was anything normal than what he's done before?
It was along the same lines. I mean, it may be a case of like, now that's my guy for the next 9 weeks for sure. So now I really got it. And maybe there are also some mending that needs to be done because of all the noise that the Dolphins let out in their pursuit of Deshaun Watson. Not that I necessarily believe that, all the talk is going to affect Tua's performance on Sunday. But it's still kind of BS that a player has to hear that when he's the supposed franchise quarterback. So from that standpoint, absolutely. And maybe it was, Flo's way of making it. Now that we're definitely not getting Deshaun Watson, yeah, let me throw some flowers at the guy's way.
Are you all on my side on this? It's over with him, right? He's done. Like, he will not be a Dolphin next year, right?
With
I mean,
Tua?
that to me, yeah, Tua. I think Tua's done. I think
unless he
I think
balls out.
Steinberg will demand the trade as soon as possible, but I think he's done as long as you keep these guys. Now, if you change regimes, maybe the new regime may want to reach out and say, hey, forget about what happened. You're our guy. We're going to build around you. We believe in you. Maybe that could happen. But if Flores and Grier come back, is Tua still on this roster in 2022 in your eyes?
Not unless he completely balls out, in which case then the Dolphins go to him, regardless of new regime or not, go to him after the season and say, Tua, I hope you understand, you're our guy. And then Dolphins make a lot more definitive, bold statement in January, let's say January 10th, because January 9th is the end of the season, January 10th, saying Tua's our guy moving forward. That's our man. That's our franchise quarterback. But again, the likelihood of that happening, Tua completely balling out to the point where they forget about Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, whoever it might be, and B, Flores and or Grier coming out with that kind of massive, bold statement. Yeah, I could see where a inevitable divorce is happening.
Any truth that you're building a massage parlor next to the stadium for next year?
That's funny. That's funny. I don't have the kind of funds to build anything.
All right, so give me a prediction. We're going to win this week, right? I mean, bro, give me a victory this week, right? I mean, please. You're picking the Dolphins, right?
If they don't, they might as well clean house right now. I mean, because Houston is, my Lord, are they bad. Here's the thing, though. And I hate to do this, but here's the thing.
Oh, God.
There was some rumblings that Tyrod Taylor might play, and Tyrod Taylor's 5-2 in his career against the Dolphins.
Yeah, he does play well. Yeah, when he was at the Bills.
Listen to this.
Yes.
10 touchdowns, no picks. Passer rating 113.8.
Yeah.
Does he come back and again bite the Dolphins in the ass? But
By the way, you ever met him? You ever met him?
I have not.
Terrific young man. Like, after you hang out with him a little bit, you're like, damn, dude, I wish this guy had success in the league. He's that kind of kid, He's a really, really likable dude. He's one of those guys that when you get to know him a little bit, you'll go, dude, he deserves better stuff happening to him than all the crap that's happened in his career. You know what I mean? And listen, obviously he's had a little issue with accuracy. That's been a problem for him. But I give him credit. He doesn't turn over the ball, and he has a beautiful deep ball. That he can throw a decent deep ball down there. So, but yeah, it's accuracy's been his problem, and also doctors puncturing lungs. That
could be a problem too.
That could be an issue in you playing. That's got to be a bitch. You get a chance of a lifetime to finally get. Hey, let me see if I can prove myself, and boom, punctured lung.
No,
Poor
but
kid.
Big O, we talk about like the Dolphins being dysfunctional. Here's Houston. Remind you, they're in rebuilding mode. They trade like a young pass rusher who, by all accounts, is a promising guy for a 6th-round pick. Explain the logic to me there, because I don't get it.
I saw that. I saw that. I can't pronounce the kid's name. It's like
Charles
it's
or
something like,
Mahu or something like that.
yeah, some name, right? And I don't get
No
it.
logic.
I don't get it at all. Unless he's
But yeah, the Dolphins.
unless he's a scheme type player that they're not running that scheme for next year and they plan on keeping the same coaching. That's the only thing I can think of, but I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, so I'm not in tune with that. But yeah, I saw that. All right, so hopefully we'll win. We'll talk on the post-game show, my friend. We'll be out in Bird Road, so appreciate you as always. What are you working on SI so folks can check you out?
Well, I'm going to be diving into, I already posted like the full transcript of Chris Grier's comments this morning, and I'm going to dive into it a little bit more and then maybe do a little my own analysis of revisiting the 2021 draft. And maybe I have a different take than Chris Grier, who refused to revisit it and said, we did what we did and we're happy with Jalen Waddle and all that. There are so many different ways they could have gone in that draft, and that wasn't one of them.
I would like for you to do an article where you break down that entire coaching staff and their lack of experience.
Okay. Duly noted.
Could
I'll
this
see what I
be
can do for you.
the Dolphins? How many teams in the NFL have this many coaches that lack that kind of experience? I'd be very intrigued for you to do all that homework on the 31 other teams.
You gave me a homework assignment, man. I thought those days were gone.
Put your ass to work. Put your ass to work, baby. All right, Alan, I love you, brother.
All right.
Appreciate you big time. You be good.
Right back at you. Talk to Sunday.
You got it. I'll see you Sunday. Be good. There you go. Alan Poupart, our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
There you go. The man, the myth, the legend that is Alan Poupart. By the way, Henry Ruggs Jr., or Henry Ruggs III, the wide receiver for the Raiders, he is being charged with DUI, which resulted in death. And if you have not heard this story, it is troubling. It is sad I feel sad for the families of the victim. I don't feel sorry whatsoever for Henry Ruggs. I have no pity. I have no sympathy. I don't give a rat's ass about Henry Ruggs. Are we clear on that? I just want to make sure that all of you understand. I have zero sympathy for a millionaire that could easily ask for an Uber, but instead gets behind the wheel and ends up killing someone because he chose to drive in his car instead of calling an Uber, a Lyft, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay? Ruggs was driving at 156 miles an hour with twice the legal limit. According to Caitlin Newberg of the Los Angeles Review-Journal, prosecutor Eric Ballman said Ruggs was traveling at 156 miles an hour 2 seconds before the crash, that his Corvette was going 127 miles an hour when the bags deployed. Ruggs was more than twice the legal limit, and a loaded gun was found in his car. The legal limit in every state is .08. And Ballman also said that in addition, the driver of the other car, a dog was killed in the crash too. The driver was lit on fire, died on fire. I hope this son of a bitch serves for the rest of his life. He's facing 2 to 20 years. That's not enough. Okay? I hope this piece of crap rots in jail. Are we clear on that? No sympathy for this. And you know what I hate about all these accidents? Do you want to know really what I hate about all these accidents? The son of a bitch that is drunk always survives. And then it's always the innocent human being that dies from all of this. It's somebody that was on their way home, on their way to work, minding their own business, nothing to do with it, straight as a pin. You know, they don't deserve this whatsoever. And here comes this animal who's drunk, rich, and thinks that he's above the law, and this is what ends up happening. And I hate it every stinking time. The drunk person lives and somebody or people in the other car die. I swear to you, this happens 99% of the time. I hate it. This guy ran into a car in a vet at 127 miles an hour and survived. Meanwhile, the other person in the car dies in a fireball. And their dog, I didn't even know the dog also died. I mean, seriously, man. Folks, you want to get wasted? Fine. Have somebody drive you home, man. A Lyft, Uber, please, AAA. I have AAA. I don't get drunk anyway, but do you guys know that if you have AAA, you can call them, they'll take you home? This guy's got lots of money. He's a first-round pick. It's really incredible, man, that we still have this kind of stuff going on. This is why I cringe when we talk about Bob Kuchenberg at times, because I know he was a great Dolphin, but the guy has 3 DUI arrests. I know he passed away. He's no longer with us. But usually over the years, I was never really much of a Cooch fan because of that. Because anybody that's been arrested 3 times for DUI, that means you have done it so many other times that you got away with it. And a miracle that that man never killed anybody. What alcohol does to you, it impairs the crap out of you. And if anybody's ever been behind the wheel when you're inebriated, you would understand that. Folks, please be responsible. I don't care if you have a couple of drinks, man. Listen, we all got to let loose. We all got to have a little fun. I'm not big on getting drunk because I think it's the worst thing in the world. The next day you feel like crap. You know what I mean? It's no fun. Last time I got drunk, I was in Las Vegas, actually. And I was at a party for a cigar company. And I had several bottles of wine. And I was feeling really good. I must have smoked like 2 cigars and had, I don't know, easily 2 bottles of wine probably that night. So I was buzzing, man. Buzzing. And as I was walking out of the restaurant, I was at the Rio, and I was walking out of Materano, and we had that whole place to ourselves. And Cafe Materano, you know, that we have here, it's over there also. And so as I was walking to the front of the hotel, you know, I was wasted, dude. I could feel it. You know what I mean? I could see people and all of that, but I knew that I was toast, you know, and I didn't have a car because you're in Vegas, you don't need a car really. But I got into my taxi. And I remember I got into my taxi and it was so late. I think it was like 2 a.m., which was 5 a.m. in Miami. And I called Jesse Agler. And Jesse, who is, I think, the voice of the Padres now. And Jesse was like an update guy or something. No, he was I think he was producing. And I go, hey Jesse, dude, I need you to do the updates. There is no way I'm going to be sober enough to do the updates today. I cannot do it. So he filled in for me. I called in. I wasn't really sick. I was honest about it. I said, hey man, I was out in a party and I got wasted. There's no way I could do it right now. And so they understood, whatever, it's fine. But obviously I would never get behind the wheel all wasted like that because it just doesn't. You're going to put everybody at risk. I could tell I could barely walk straight that day. I was, walking pretty. I think I was walking pretty straight. But it's just you don't want to get behind the wheel doing that kind of stuff. That's why when I saw that situation, I have no sympathy for Henry Ruggs at all. I don't care that he ruined his life. I don't care that the Raiders released him already. I don't care that he'll never play football again. I don't care. I care more about the human being he killed and the dog, by the way. I actually care more about the dog than I do Henry Ruggs also. Way more than that. I saw that story. Disgusting on every level. By the way, Aaron Rodgers has picked up COVID. He will not be available this week. So no Aaron Rodgers. My buddy Aaron Rodgers, by the way, because what am I good, Sean? I can call Aaron Rodgers my buddy, right? Because he gave me $100 of Bitcoin directly from his account, right? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm entitled to call him my buddy, Aaron Rodgers. And I know some of you out there, you're also friends with, Aaron, because maybe you've gotten a little Bitcoin from him. For those of you that don't know, go to his Twitter page. He's giving away $1 million in Bitcoin. No, he's not giving $1 million. He's giving $1 million of Bitcoin away, and he's giving it in pieces. And he'll give away $10 or $20 or $100. I was very lucky. I ended up getting $100. So go to his Twitter page, go to the tweet that has it, retweet it with what it tells you to put in, which is your Cash App address, hashtag paid in Bitcoin, I believe. And then you've also got to follow Cash App on Twitter. And then cross your fingers, and you got to hope that you pick up a little cash. So apparently he can't play. Now, we all know that Jordan Love is there, but they have a backup quarterback who's on the practice squad, and his name is Ben Kirk. So apparently, Mr. Ben Kirk had COVID also earlier in the week in the quarterback room. So looks like he passed it on to Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron looks like he's vaccinated because it doesn't seem like anything, serious. So he should be all right. Actually, a buddy of mine, he and his whole family went to the Dominican Republic last week, and they're all vaccinated. And but he had COVID and he got vaccinated. So anybody that had COVID and got the vaccine, they are the strongest people that have immunity in our world. That's actually, don't go out and get COVID just to do that. Don't do that. But I'm saying the people that were lucky to get COVID and survive it and then got the vaccine, they're stronger than people like me that never had COVID, but we have the vaccine and I have the booster and everything. So he had COVID and the vaccine. The rest of the family never had COVID. They all came back, and the whole family had COVID except him. He didn't end up catching it from them. How about that? So they all had, but they were all also vaccinated. So none of them went through any issues. They went right through it really quickly. In a couple of days, they were fine. Like 2 days, they were fine. They barely had any effects from it, but it shows you. So there you go. So but now what I'm thinking is, if I'm Aaron Rodgers in all of this, I don't know if you agree with me here, Sean, but I think that Aaron Rodgers should not give any kind of Bitcoin to Ben Kirk for giving him COVID, right? I mean, seriously, he knocked him out this week. So no Bitcoin for you. What do you got? What do you got there? What do you got there? What are you showing me? What are you pulling up? I can't see. It says Packers QB Aaron Rodgers is unvaccinated per the. You got to enlarge it, bro. I can't. Oh, let me see here. There we go. Per Mike Garafolo, that's why he's out for Sunday versus the Chiefs. Wow. So he's an anti-vaccine guy. I did not know that. Well, I hope he's all right, man. I hope he doesn't go through a rough one then. Whew. I don't want to get COVID without being vaccinated.
There was a lot going on about him being vaccinated. When he was asked, what he stated was he has his immunizations. He didn't say whether he's vaccinated for COVID-19. He just says, yes, I have my immunizations. That's how earlier in the season. I have that. I'm trying to find it right now.
Right. So he has his immune system is what he's saying. Okay. Oh, I love it. Let's see. Big O, we should have traded Xavier yesterday. Should have. But maybe they're asking for too much. Problem is his thinking is, so what if he gets caught driving drunk? He got money to hire a top-notch lawyer, but now he lost his career and is absolutely going to serve time. Stupidity. Not just stupidity, Thomas. He's a stinking criminal now. Okay? He killed someone. That's what he is now. Now he's a scumbag criminal. That's what Henry Ruggs is in my eyes. A scumbag criminal. You're 3 times the legal limit and you're going to be driving 150 something miles an hour. And when you hit the car, you were at 127. That shows you had no reflexes whatsoever. And we're talking about a world-class athlete. Not you and me. We're talking about a world-class athlete. Not some idiot that does radio every day and not going to have the athleticism that Henry Ruggs has. Folks, please never get behind the wheel that way. Never. It's not worth it. Now, this idiot Henry Ruggs, I don't know if he has a conscience. Okay, so yeah, he lost his career and he's going to go to jail. But I wonder, how much will he be thinking about the person he killed? Because that, if I had to live with that, wow, that would eat me up alive, dude. That would eat me up alive. And I think anybody that's a real human being, I don't think anybody wants that on their conscience. I know I don't. There's no effing way I ever want that on my conscience. That's got to be a terrible feeling that you ruined someone's life and then the family that goes with it. Oh, God. Scary, man. Scary. Just don't get behind the wheel. Man, it's tough enough to drive. You could end up killing somebody just straight as a pin by accident. And I don't wish that on any of us. But if you get behind the wheel inebriated that way, there's a good chance you're going to do it. I mean, it's tough enough just to drive on I-95. You're also going to do this? Somebody sent me a text that says, surprise, complete this short 30-second about Sam's Club in your inbox survey. Would you do that with a number that you've never seen before in your life? And they sent it to me in 3 different numbers. What do you think about that? The worst thing you do is hit that link. Right? Isn't that the worst thing you do? Hit that damn link. Lordy. By the way, Omar knocked it out of the park today in the press conference when he asked Flo about his team and about why he likes these players that he has, because he talked about how he likes these players. Can you do me a favor there, Sean? Can we air that question one more time? Because I thought he did a great job with that one.
Have turnovers, but oftentimes they have the talent to overcome them. Do you feel like this team has enough talent to overcome mistakes, considering what the record is right now and the product that's been put on the field?
I do. I think I think, games in this league come down to a handful of plays. And, like I've said, too many times this year, we've been on the wrong side of those mistakes, whether it's, a punt hitting somebody or, a penalty here or a drop ball here. We've been on the wrong side of them. And we've got to do a better job, as a coaching staff. That starts with me, putting them in better positions to make some of those plays. But I do. And I think we got I like our players. I like our team, and I love coaching this team. So I'll continue to coach them. I'll continue to, try to help them improve and get better, and just keep taking it one day at a time.
If I may follow up, why do you like this team? No, I'm being dead serious because the results are not matching what the expectations were. I mean, you were talking to Peter.
I like the team. My staff
I
sucks.
didn't necessarily agree with you, but you said that this was the year that you guys were going to pivot and kind of move away from the rebuilding. And here we are, 1-7, which is like where you were at the beginning of 2000.
I like this. I like the people in this building. I love the people in this building. I think we have the right types of players. I think we have a talented group. I think we have a young group. I think we have a developing group. I think we have guys who give great effort, prepare the right way. And I enjoy coaching this group. And I think there's a lot of the right ingredients here. And we got to find the right formula to help us get over the hump. And that's, you may not, a lot of people may disagree, but that's my belief. I believe in this team. I believe in the people in this building, and that's I'm really unwavering on that.
There you go. Now, listen, he has to say all of those things. He has no choice. He can't say he's not happy with the people in the building because then it falls on him. He can't say he's not happy with his team because that falls on him. Everything falls on him at this point in time. And I thought Omar asked a very good question, a very difficult question to ask, and one that had to be asked because it also puts him in that, it corners him in a position. Because I know, hey, man, you said you like this team. You think it has enough talent to overcome. So then that means the problem is your coaching staff. I know this. I truly feel this. This team is not that bad. There is no way this is 1-7 talent. Not even close. This is 1-7 talent. But this is a 1-7 coaching staff. And that's your problem. I'm sorry. That's our problem. Because it's not just the Dolphins' problem. It's not just Stephen Ross's problem. It's your problem. It's my problem. It's our problem, unfortunately. That's the part that sucks. Flo Gotta Go has a very interesting one. He says, in Finland, the ticket or fine you get for speeding or driving drunk is aligned to yearly income. If you make $1 million a year, you are getting a huge fine. That discourages rich douchebags. Wow, Flo. And you're in Finland. I didn't know that. Nice job. Didn't know that. Let's see. What else do we have? Billy Batson says, give that anti-vaxxer his Bitcoin back, Big O. No, I'm keeping my Bitcoin, bro. You give me Bitcoin, I'm keeping it. I'm not selling my Bitcoin forever. You know what? In a perfect world, okay, the day I pass away, I just pass on my Bitcoin to my daughter. That's what I would love. I would love that I would never have to use my Bitcoin and let it sit there and grow and let my daughter enjoy that Bitcoin as I move on to other planes, as they say. Okay? That would be a perfect thing because you don't sell your Bitcoin. Okay? Bitcoin is like a savings account. You put it in, you don't. It's like a roach motel. You put it in, you don't take it out. You only take it out for some family emergency or a real special occasion or something that you wanted to treat your kid to something, whatever, a car, a college fund, whatever that you were saving, okay, then I get that. But if not, try to keep it there. That's the best thing. The other ones, you try to sell and make your money and profit and all that good stuff. Vibe International says, Big O, glad I found your show a month ago, 50 years, a Cali Fin fan. Well, thank you. And you found it because people are hitting that, they're smashing that like button. And please, all of you out there, please smash the like button. It is so important, man. Really, really important. It'll be a huge favor to our show and help us grow and help the community grow here. Anthony Campbell says, Big O, to get into the sports broadcasting business, what you see the trend going, ESPN and the debate shows of sports have turned into gossip. Love the show. Talk about only sports. Well, we do a little life. We do a little crypto. We do a little music. So, I squeeze in a couple of other things, which, speaking of music, God, after this week, I can't wait for more. I can't wait for Metallica, Greta Van Fleet, and Cage the Elephant. God, that's going to be so much fun. I'm going to have a blast in Atlanta this weekend. It'll be a short one, but we'll have a blast. Sean Haran says he wants a staff and players that won't backtalk to him and question anything that he does. That's why he likes them. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's you might be on to something. I don't know. It's terrible staff, man. Ernest Ulavarro says, drunk millionaire athletes can go home in their own cars, call a flat lift, tow truck. It's a great view. I know. I'm with you. That's why I have no sympathy for Henry Ruggs. I hope he rots in jail. The fact that he can only get up to 20 years is not enough for what he did. No drunk driver should ever see the light of day ever again. If you chose to get behind the wheel when you know you're wasted and you go kill someone, you have no more rights. Nothing. Sorry doesn't fix this. That's not a mistake. It's a crime. Henry Ruggs committed a crime. Dana Bruce says, California Finn here. We love you, Dana. Thank you. Gritty says, Coinbase is a good place to start for crypto beginners. Yeah, but I'd rather go crypto.com, man. I think crypto.com is so much better than Coinbase. And it has a much larger selection of coins. That's the other thing. And it has so many other ways to make money off your. Remember, it's not one of the things you can't do on Coinbase that you can do on crypto.com is you get to stake a lot of coins. So if you buy Crow, you'll stake it, you'll get 6%. If you buy Ethereum, you're going to get 5.5%. If you buy Bitcoin, you're going to get 4.5%. If you buy Matic, you'll get 10%. A lot of the other ones, it's 2%. Okay. And so I stake my Crow and it goes, let's say I bought it at 10 or 12 cents and now it's at 25. So now I've already doubled my investment from my coin. Plus I staked it for the last 3 months and I got 6% back. So if I put, let's say, $600 of Crow over the year, I'm going to get back $60 of Crow. So I'm adding more onto my Crow that is also growing in value. You get what I'm saying? So I'm making money two ways. I'm making money as my coin grows, and I'm staking it by making more money. Plus, Crypto.com has its own credit card, which is actually really cool. I'm actually going to be upgrading my red card to the green, and you stake Crow there. But like when I go from red to green, now they're going to give me Bitcoin instead of 4.5%. When I stake it, I'm going to get 5.5%. And instead of 5.5% for Ethereum, I'm going to get 6.5% for Ethereum. I believe for Crow, instead of 6%, I'm going to get 8%. You get what I'm saying? So I moved up in cards. So, and the credit card, by the way, on crypto.com, depending on the ones you apply for, you'll get free Spotify, free Netflix. You know, they have all kinds of perks that come with it. So if you have Netflix and you get the Crow card, you don't pay anything for the card, 0 fees. You're making more money for staking, and they're giving you free stuff. So if you're paying for Netflix and you have the card, now you get Netflix for free. If you're paying for Spotify, now you're going to get Spotify for free. And there's other things. It's got a lot of perks. I'm trying to help you all. I'm trying to educate, help you. So go to crypto.com before you go to Coinbase. I'm just telling you, it's a much better cryptocurrency exchange. Way better. Okay? Big O, give me your top 10 Dolphins of the last 15 years. Wow. Okay. Man, last 15 years. Weapon X United. Thank you, sir. Hope to see you on at Sports Grill. But hey, we're at Bird Road this time, so come on out. Big O, hey, Big O, if you're in Atlanta on Sunday and want to watch the Dolphins game, I can send you the address for the official. No. I'm flying back for the no, my crazy ass is listen to this, dude. I'm flying in Saturday morning, okay? Saturday afternoon at noon. And then I'm going to go to the concert. And then I'm flying back out at 5 a.m, arriving here at 7:30, maybe take a little nap in the car, and then go to Sports Grill and do the pre and post game show. I'll be watching it from Sports Grill in Miami. I'll be fine. I'll unless American Airlines, cancels my flight. Which, yeah, but it's not, hopefully I've been checking every day and it looks like it's fine. It looks like it's going to go. I know they've been canceling a lot of airlines, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you for looking out. I thank you so much. I have YouTube also on my iPad. So if I'm out of town, I can probably watch it on YouTube anyway, if anything. But yeah, no, I appreciate it, my man. Thank you, sir, so much. But I'll be back home. I plan on being home. Man, last 15 years, the top 15. Did you say top? Let me see. All right, let's go X-Man, right? Let's see. Help me out, guys, because I'm going to start brain farting here. The top 10 players the last 15 years. Well, Minka, even though he only played here a short amount of time. Tunsil, even though he was here for a short amount of time. Let's see. Last 15 years. Man. What else do we have? Oh, yeah, definitely Cam Wake. Nice job by you, sir. We'll definitely put that in there. Kenyon Drake. Oh, I'm going to put Mike Gesicki. For sure, Mike Gesicki is top fit. Brent Grimes, definitely. Good call by you. That's a good one. Rashad Jones. Man, you guys are coming in strong, helping me out here. No, JT was in the last 15 years, I believe. Jake Long was the last 15 years. Yes. Jake Long was the last 15 years. You are correct. No, Madison was gone already in the last 15 years. Right? I think he was gone by 2006. I'm pretty sure of that. Somebody help me out. Pouncey, definitely Pouncey. We'll go with that. No, I'm not putting Charles Clay there. Oh, Jarvis Landry. Very good. I like that one. Ronnie Brown, did Ricky make it to 2005? Did he come back? No, he didn't, right? No. He wasn't back by 2006. No, he was gone, by 2006. Well, we did have Bullygate incognito. Let's go with that. That's actually a pretty good one. Jeremiah Bell. Why Bell? Yes. We'll go with that one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right there. You got 12 there. That's pretty good right there. X-Man, Minka, Tunsil, Cam Wake, Gesicki, Brent Grimes, Rashad Jones, Jake Long, Pouncey, Landry, Incognito, Jeremiah Bell. That's not bad. There you go. Doesn't make you great, but it's not bad. And Ndamukong Suh might be that's actually a good pick. Didn't make the impact that he's supposed to. It's actually not bad. It's pretty good right there. Thank you. Tannehill. Yeah, baby. Oh, I love it. Bobby McCain. Somebody put it, Billy Turner, not for us, but for Green Bay. That was good. Thank you guys out there. That's probably the list if I had to take time, but yeah, it would take me like 20 minutes to do this. Thank you to everybody out there, of course, always willing to help. By the way, great job by the Heat last night over the Mavs. It sucks that we really didn't take a lot of time to talk about it, but Tyler is playing his ass off. Butler, Bam were awesome. Lowry. I mean, they had 4 guys to score over 22 points last night. That was pretty good. And Dedmon, definitely a perfect Heat player. Thursday, they take on Boston at FTX Arena. Panthers are off tonight. Thursday, they take on the Capitals at the FLA Live Arena at 7 o'clock. So hopefully they can pick up their 9th victory of the season. Devin Jordan, you are a monster, sir. That is another super chat chiming in. He says, listening to you, Big O, I feel like I need crypto and Coinbase classes. Well, you listen, you guys want a little bit of an education and somebody that I trust that you can watch on YouTube. Cryptos are us, okay? Cryptos are, like in the letter R, us. And there's a .com to it. I'm going to put it there on the chat board so you guys can see it. And those of you that are on the podcast, his name is George. He's an Asian guy, and I believe he's in I believe he lives in New Zealand. He is the most level-headed guy that I know that talks crypto daily. He does 2 streams every day. Okay, I watch it all the time. Okay, I am a George fan, and he does a really, really good job. There are people out there that they're into dramatics and all kinds of BS, and sometimes they sell out and they're selling things that they're pushing things that aren't necessarily the real deal. I've seen all kinds of different people. This guy George is real. Check him out. Cryptos are us. For those of you that are new to the space and you need a little bit of an education, you want somebody besides myself, you go get people that actually know a lot about it, not just me. George is one of those guys that over time I have learned to trust. Not always agree with it. Like, he wasn't a Cardano guy. It took him a while to get on Cardano. I've been a Cardano guy from the get-go that I got in. But, nothing's perfect. And you still have to do your own homework no matter what anybody tells you, me or anybody else. You still should go look at the things that you're going to invest in. It is your money. So always do your own homework. Always do your own due diligence. People, I'm not a financial advisor. I tell you what I do with my money. Okay? You want to do it, you can do it. I always tell you because, hey, man, I share with you guys. You know what I mean? And the good thing is, while it's gone very well for me in crypto, it's gone very well for a lot of you because it's the same coins that I'm in, you're winning like I am. You know what I mean? Not that I'm going to get rich or anything or retire, but profit is profit, so it's good. So I'm glad those of you out there, I hope you have a lot of money and you're able to make a lot of money. Good for you, man. But cryptos are us. George does a really good job. Level-headed. There's a lot of bull crap out there. There's a lot of people that are just not really straight up. So be careful because they could be pushing products and some people have more money than us. So they handle things a lot different than us and they think they're us and they're not. And so I talk about things like a working stiff that I am. I'm not rich. I don't have millions. I don't have hundreds of thousands. I can't do any of that. You know what I mean? I can't do those kind of things. I really have to do my due diligence to make sure I'm doing the right thing and I'm not screwing it up. And I'm sure a lot of you have to do the same thing. So cryptos are us is really good. George does it. Yes, Asian. Yes, he is an Asian guy. Okay. Really, really good. Really level-headed. And I suggest you watch him every day. And I think you will get better at crypto. You will understand. And he gives you good tips on how to build your portfolio and all that kind of stuff. So he would be one of the guys that I would definitely suggest. Miami Mike says, Big O, how many times did Tannehill get sacked in his first 5 years in Miami? A lot, bro. A lot. It was, but a lot. Half of them were his fault. He had a better line than what they have now. And there's no Brandon Albert on this line. There's no Mike Pouncey on this line. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Jawan James at times still played better than some of these guys. You know, when he wasn't getting injured, of course. Never had a favorite reporter before, but Omar is my new favorite reporter. LOL, savage. That's what Macho 420 says. Well, that's a good reporter to be a favorite of. Omar does an awesome job. I think all our guys, man, I think Joe Shad, you read him, he does an excellent job. Obviously, Joe's a little bit more mellow than Omar is. Omar brings a little more fire, different personalities, but both do an excellent job. We just talked to Alan Poupart, who is just as knowledgeable as anybody out there. You know what I mean? He does a fantastic freaking job. Not only does he do a great job of covering the Dolphins, but he also knows his draft stuff. It's one of the things that I love about Alan, that he also is a draftnik like I am. So it's a good thing, especially when the draft rolls around. You're going to get plenty of draft insight. Not that it's really going to help our team, but we'll give you the insight that we can pass on. So there you go. So I'm glad that Omar is your favorite, my man. Let's see. Big O, could you imagine Tua behind the 2006 O-line Tannehill had? Oh, man. You know, what can I tell you? I just wish the best for Tua. And I know that the best for him is not this coaching staff. That's what I do know. All right, I think it is time for us to wrap it up here on the show. We thank Sean Stanley, of course, the executive producer of this program, doing an excellent job putting it all together like he does every single day. We thank everybody out there for downloading the show. All of you that podcast it every day, man, you are so amazing. Thank you. The numbers are through the roof, as always. And thanks all to everybody that sent in a super chat. If you gave us a little love on Cash App or Venmo, we appreciate you immensely. There you go. Let me see. I want to make sure it's not showing any kind of numbers, but there you go. That's the super chat or the Cash App. What's it called? Bitcoin he sent me. We're down $1 from when I got it yesterday. I've lost $1 on it, but Aaron Rodgers, thank you, sir, for some Bitcoin. That is very nice of you. I hope you're recovering from COVID. And I thank you all out there for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow we start off at 9. Well, we'll start off around 8:45 because I'll come on a little early. And then at 9 o'clock, we will have Inside the Paint, the Pallet Rack City Inside the Paint show with the one and only Ira Winderman and the man, the myth, the legend named Clay Ferraro. Those two guys will be talking hardcore basketball for 1 hour. We'll have plenty of guests. Joe Shad will join us. We'll have some other stuff planned too. We appreciate all of you out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. And as you know, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big